Tell us what's happening out there. Has there been any change? 0956618720. Remember last week, one of the things that I was trying to raise was positive things in our community that we can clap our hands about. Positive things that's happened. If you can think of anything that needs to be drawn to our attention, it doesn't have to be nothing big scale. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people out there doing works and doing things, and you never hear about it. Let's take this live link. Good morning, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah.
How we sounding out there in London?
All right. What's your topic today?
Well, we haven't even started yet. I'm just waiting for you all as a people to, if you've got anything you want to bring to our attention. Not yet?
Well, it's the same. Well, all right. Let somebody else sing that tune up. Yeah.
I know. But let's see what happens.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for phoning in.
Yeah, just checking, give me a check.
Okay, nice one, bro.
All right.
Keep it low.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a phone check down there in the South London region. Brother Ron, hardcore soldier, warrior for Genesis Radio. Big up your status. A first call of the morning. We're sounding Chris in the South region area. Come on, North, wake up. East London, what you're saying. West London, I know you all can hear us down there. Give us a phone check. 0956618720. Gets you through to the big Genesis 91.6 People's Talk Show. I'm going to give you all a few more minutes, and if you don't bring the topics this way, then I'm going to have to start the ball rolling.
The world of material wealth. Just think about your knowledge and your spiritual health. I know your enemy, and then you will love yourself. Got the African race, no problem we face. Like we love push yourself back in a second place. Black or white, black skin, what's happening? I say them prefer the brown into the black men. That foolish attitude I've never understood. It's like when people them a tell me say me ear no good. Now if you check history, that notion of beauty is a mentality, the legacy of slavery. If you want your mind free, now what's the white imagery? Just put your race first like Marcus Garvey.
Good morning, you're in to Genesis Radio.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning, sis.
All right.
How are you?
All right, thanks. I'm just ringing to say that it really annoyed me. Was it Thursday when I turned on the news that I heard Ian Wright, well, I know he got injured and he was playing for the English team, but I heard him saying that his team needs him, and how, he's really gutted that he got kicked out of the, not kicked out, got injured, so he can't play for his country.
Okay.
But really and truly, black people, and we need him, his community needs him, down there at the Stephen Lawrence inquiry, sitting on the bench, and whoever else he knows needs to come down there and play a part, you know what I mean? Just because you make money don't mean you don't have nothing to do with, your people. They will make a big input if they take time out and put their ass down at the inquiry and sit down and hear what's happening to their people, you know what I mean? Money is not everything, you know what I mean?
And as you say that, right? As you know, I saw one of our so-called celebrities over the weekend. Okay, and this particular person, when I mentioned this issue to them, I said, boy, it would be nice, it would be like a morale booster to see someone like yourself and others down there supporting, just like Ian. The person actually said to me, boy, how much more does the community want me to do? I'm doing as much as I can. What more do they want me to do?
Well, I think anybody who is in the eyes of the public, especially being black, needs to get down there, and that's as much as you can do, you know what I mean? You can't say what more does my community want to do, because it could happen to your brother, your sister, your nephew, your niece tomorrow, right? And then you want people to out there supporting you, you know what I mean? Don't wait until it hits your door, and really and truly, because it's not our blood brothers, we think it's not our family. At the end of the day, we're all family. Once your skin is black, we're all family, you know what I mean?
That's it. But, do these people recognize that?
I mean, even Chris Eubanks, Crystal Rose, I could reel off enough names. Need to get there. Limpid Christie, you know what I mean? It would be even nice to see, what's his name? The boxer. Lennox down there. Let them see that just because we're in the limelight, we can't go down and support out and be behind them. You have to be behind closed doors. Sit out and let them see your faces and let you be counted as a number. You know what I mean? That's what I believe.
For real,
and they really, anybody that knows anybody in the limelight needs to give them the dress, Element Castle, to get down there and sit on that bench and be counted. You know what I mean? Let them know. Just because I've made a bit of money, I've done my work and I've made my money, doesn't mean I'm not black or I'm not interested in my people, I am interested in what happens to my people.
That's right.
And I'd really like to see Ian Wright, because he's only at Crystal Palace down there sometime this week. So if anybody knows him, try and talk to him and let him come down and be counted. I mean, he was down there when they had the gun immunity down at Brixton. You know, big publicity down there. We need his publicity down at the campaign. Anybody that knows him, talk to him and ask him to come down there and be counted. I'd like to see him down this week. Anyway, and big respect for everybody that's going down there and, you know, supporting, you know, the Lawrence campaign. And Genesis is doing it as far as I'm concerned, because Genesis last week, they kept pumping all the time. Every DJ that came on, they kept talking about to get down there at the inquiry. And I've noticed, I forgot what the station is.
Galaxy?
No, oh gosh, what's the other one? That Quaker's on. Quaker? Power Jam. Power Jam is doing it as well. So we're looking for Choice to be doing the same, and all the other stations, even the newspapers, like our own black newspapers like The Voice.
So,
you know.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you honestly think, right, Sister Jack, that Choice Radio are going to do anything that's kind of, you know, politically motivated or has political aspirations around it?
Well, apparently we did approach Choice to do it, and they said they can't do anything unless the family wants it. So the Lawrence family in the campaign needs to get down there and answer them and see if that was just like what they were saying, just trying to bluff us off, that they can't do it. You know, they're behind the Lawrence's family, they said, but I don't hear them advertising and saying anything what's going on. So maybe that was a quick way out, you know?
Okay. Oh, well, I know that they're listening, right? So maybe they're going to take that on board.
Yeah, I think the Lawrence family needs to go down and answer them, even if they get a lot of listeners, right, you know, Choice, right, they need to go down and ask them if they can have a mention on it every time they do these change stations, and like if they can cover it a little bit of what's going down, because what's covered on the news is a load of rubbish. It doesn't cover nothing what really goes on the day. You know, and people really need to get down there and see for themselves, you know.
For real.
And I mean, on Tuesday and Wednesday, it was packed in the morning, apparently, you know, and the black people did come out. But we really, really, really need them to come out. And,
so the message is starting to get through, though.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Big up for that, sis.
Okay, bye.
Keep it locked.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, did you all hear that from Sister Jackie down there? Ian, where are you? What are you saying? As I said to Sister J there, I went and saw Crystal Rose this weekend. I'm not going to hide the names. And, you know, she was kind of, boy, how much more did the community really want us to do? You know what I mean? And I suppose it's something that you have to look at. These people are out there, they're in the public eye. They're doing what they got to do. I know they're earning money still. But, you know, they're high profile in the black community. They're making it be seen that we can, you know, rock and roll with the best of them in whatever field it happens to be. So they are doing something, even if it's not to our liking. They, I suppose, are there as an example again for many of the young people that want to get into that kind of field, entertainment on the television or radio or whatever it might be. Brings me to one of my first questions. When in the public eye, when someone like Lennox, you know, is in a public eye, it seems that after a certain time, their time or their life or, you know, where they can go, what they can do, where they can spend their time is not their own. It's not up to them. Is it fair for us as the community, after these people have worked and built up their career and done what they've done, is it fair for us in the community to lay claim to them? And to go on like we own them and to expect them, like how you said, Sister J said there, we would expect to see Ian Wright, you know, Linford Christie, Lennox Lewis, Eubanks, Trevor Phillips, whoever. We've got enough. We would expect to see them down there, even if it's just once. Again, a morale booster. So that's the question. That's one of the questions. When in the public eye, is our time really our own? People demand things of us. Boy, I don't know. It's up to you all. Give us a call and let us know what you got to say about that. But that's one of the things. Our superstars or our people in the public, how much of their time is really their own? How much of their life is really their own? When you actually go into the public domain, how much time do you actually give up? You know, even down there, I'll tell you something. You see, like our radio owner, the station owner, you might not see him on telly, but boy, his time really, you know, is not his own. And for a fact, if he needs a rest, he has to escape and don't even tell no one he's going. That's how it is for many of these people, you know. And again, not necessarily on the television, but in the public eye. 0956618720 gets you through to the People's Talk Show. Today. Nice day outside. I know you all are still listening though. You got it locked in. If there's anything at all that you want the wider community to know, then give us a call. As you hear the songwriter said, it's time to make a change.
Follow me. From the evilest one whose ultimate plan is to destroy the African.
Gotta make a change.
You really gotta get up.
Time to make a change.
The people gotta step up.
Gotta make a change.
And talking of making a change,
You gotta educate yourself as an African.
Genesis Radio, we're going to be putting on an event.
Time to make a change.
Black people,
We're going to be putting on a trip to Hastings.
you really gotta free your mind and then you step up in a life. Now the way.
Now, I know you all have heard before, our radio stations doing coach trip and it's dance and rare.
Put your knowledge and your spiritual health. I know your enemy and then you will love yourself. Cause the African race, no problem we face. Like we love put yourself back in a second place. Black or white, black skin, what's happening? I said them prefer the brown into the black men. That foolish attitude I've never understood. It's like when people them a tell me say me ear no good. Now if you check history, that notion of beauty is a mentality, the legacy of slavery.
Well, what we're going to be doing, I love this music. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be taking some elderly people from our community and some children, some of our what you would call disadvantaged children, and also some of our disabled children. We should have about 2 coaches, 2 coach loads, and we're going up to Hastings for the day. And we're just going to show them a good time, and we're just going to have a good time and just live as a community. This is going to be in August, Bank Holiday August. We're looking to do it. We may bring it forward, but we're looking to do it Bank Holiday August. Take some children and some of the elderly in our community. We've got some old people's homes, as they're known as, out there. You know, that's catering for us and ours. We're going to take 2 coach loads of them up there. Now, depending on the response from the wider community, more coaches can be made available. But again, it depends on you all and whether you are in support of this. It is time to start making change. And sometimes the simple things, the little things, the easy things that is overlooked will make a change. It's not necessarily all the time we're going to sit down in meetings, we're going to be talking head-to-head serious talk. You know, the change must also come in the way we communicate with each other, in the way we look after each other, in the way we relate to each other, in the way we project ourselves to the wider community out there. 0956618720 gets you through.
Time to make a change.
You gotta make your prep up.
Gotta make a change.
You really gotta understand. You gotta educate yourself as an
Gotta
African.
make a change.
You really gotta wake up.
Gotta make a change. Gotta make a change.
You really gotta free your mind and then we step up in our life. Now me look around the world, tell me what do I see? Black people facing the world of England, what really puzzle me. So no man no face them responsibility. I tell them baby mother them not have no money.
Good morning, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Yes, brother, it's Ron again.
Yes, my brother, what would you like to say, Ron?
Right. I heard you mention some black celebrities just now, right?
Okay.
Right. I started with Trevor Phillips first. Trevor Phillips is a Guyanese like myself, right?
Okay.
Well, you know I don't deal with country man, I deal with man, right? See, Trevor Phillips is one of these niggas, them, right? Who they on the black outside, but they don't think black. Trevor Phillips, I know, brother, told me when Trevor Phillips and him was going to university, he never sit with the black student, always with the Caucasian them.
Okay.
All right?
Isn't that something that a lot of children was taught, and again, a lot of people have got that mentality that they won't send their children to black schools?
Well, that's another question for another time, right? Ian Wright now, right? I used to love Ian Wright, but he getting to be a little Uncle Tom to me. always crying like a little idiot. Right? I hope when he lost someone in his relatives, he cried like how he crying for his country.
Yeah. So was he actually crying?
I don't know what he crying for. He just making himself an idiot by crying and all these. You didn't see when he's singing?
I was just going to say
You
that.
didn't see when he's singing national anthem?
I was just going to bring that up. Did you see when they were singing the national anthem?
The man like he's some returned soldier.
But again, you know, he's in England, all right?
Yeah, but you have to get on like that.
Yeah, but England has made him what he is, so...
Yeah, but we know that. A lot of people, you know. But so you guys, all right, as Sister Jackie said, England made him what he have, what he is. So he's black, where you don't come down and give us support, just push your head.
For real.
He come from a black mother.
That's right. That's right. Even if it's just once.
Right? So, as you said just now, England made him what he is. Of course, I'm not this approved of that. But he's black. He come from a black mother. He must know what's going on in the black community.
So you don't think that these people, because of the situation they're
They
in,
wouldn't come, brother. These crackers would never come because I'm all right, Jack, as I always say, Saju. These crackers, they're a little wine and dine with their own people. They're just like the High Commission and them. They don't come, brother. You paint up yourself in white and go around to the Gaucho Club in the West End. You see all these crackers, them there?
they're all down there.
Yeah, celebrities.
Yeah.
You know, brother.
So then...
Unless my pain is your pain,
Yeah.
and your pain is my pain, we never get together. Right? You hear this police officer say after 30 years, you don't know is the power for arrest. It's a joke, isn't it?
For real. But again, you see, in one sense, I think it correctly, you know, if most of these what we call celebrities was to come down straight away, if they come down on any event,
Don't you notice?
yeah, and it will high profile whatever the event is.
Yeah, because you see, since that petition that go into that cracker that judge there, right? You saw much reporters and newspaper people get down there when they hear the, you know, petition, black people petition about the situation of the judge treating the inquiry and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So they're running like, well, I wasn't there, I leave already. I heard they was running like blue ass fly.
That's right.
They was all over the place looking for information. So imagine some of these black so-called celebrities come down. What do you think would happen? Everybody know what's going on, innit?
That's right. It would high profile straight away.
You see?
You know, and they wouldn't even have to speak. All they have to do is...
No, they just have a, you know, the president is there.
That's for real.
That's all.
For real.
That's all.
Well, I know that they're out there listening, right, Ron, and I hope that then people kind of take it on board and just, you know, check themselves. Because it's not going to cost them nothing. It doesn't cost no money. You know, it's just maybe a little bit of time, and that's it.
Don't worry, as I always say, what goes wrong come wrong.
For real, you know, and I think as well, a lot of our celebrities, as again, I think it was Brother Trevor raised the issue last week on a talk show. We must look at the O.J. Simpson case, where it's a classic case of a big black man got into, you know, high life through sports, and then just turned on his own people.
Yeah, you see, that is why they always having a go at Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Because you always go back to the ghetto.
He sticks to his own.
And they don't like that.
And yet now, when O.J. was, you know, the murder case and that went on, he
the ghetto people support him.
Yeah, he turned it into a race thing, black and white.
Oh yeah, they make it a race issue.
For real. You know, so I just hope that these celebrities over here take that on board and see that lesson there, that it is to be learned for them, and don't think, you know, that because you're big, because you've got millions, that these things can't happen to you. Because at the end of the day, you're the same color as us.
The same nigga.
That's right. That's right, and that's how these people see it. So that, you know, celebrities, all of you celebrities out there that's listening, don't fool yourself and think that you're a breed apart from us. You know, you might have some money, but at the end of the day, push come to shove, if they want to deal with you the same way they deal with us down here on the street in the ghetto, there's nothing to stop them.
No. Another thing, I was reading the Private Eye this week, right? They had a little article with Stephen Richard Keel.
Okay.
Richard Keel, yeah. And you know the police, these crackers make me laugh sometimes. In the article they say Richard Keel, they tell his family that probably he ran away with his girlfriend, right?
Okay.
When they find the body, they say probably he was having a piddle and he fell over. What a thing to say, isn't it?
Innit? Like
I don't
we're
know.
stupid.
Yeah.
That's right. They talk to us like we're stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
But some black people still stupid.
Yeah, because they still accept the talk.
Yeah.
You know, but as the songwriter's saying, boy, especially for them people there, it's time to make a change, man. They got to change their perception, they got to change their mentality, they got to change their outlook on life.
But brother, I don't want to get too deep, right? This word change, you know, how could you define it? Could you give me a thing? Because your perception is probably different to mine.
All right,
this word change.
My perception, I haven't got a dictionary with me or a thesaurus, but my perception of change.
Let's keep it simple.
Yeah, my perception of change would be to stop what you're doing and do something else. That would be my perception. And
well, my input now, to have a change, you know where I'm coming from.
That's right.
By any means.
That's right. Change
That's
is to be.
the only way we can get change and people going to look at me.
But then again, this is what I'm saying now. That's on one level, but what about the individual that has to make that change? How, you know what I mean? How are we going to make them, how is someone like then Mr. Wright or Crystal Rose or Trevor Phillips going to be able, how can they look at their self and just acknowledge within their self, well boy, you know what, let me start getting back to my people and helping and supporting my people more?
Well,
how do we apply that same theory by any means necessary to these people?
well, you got to deal with them too.
Okay.
Because they, as Brother Malcolm said, these people are confused people. They're confused, yeah.
And you know something, you know what I've discovered as well? A lot of them, they don't listen to Genesis. They don't, in fact, they don't.
No.
In fact, they don't listen to none of the pirates.
No. They, you know, I think Chris might, because, you know, Chris is a rude boy, you know,
Yeah.
Chris coming from the ghetto. But he never looked back in the ghetto.
Real. Well, boy, I know that these people, they're going to hear it, Ron. If they don't hear it direct, someone's going to let them know. You know, and maybe we'll get a response from them.
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's so far. Let's see what anybody has to say, you know.
Okay, big up for your call, Pete.
Yeah.
Keep it locked.
Yeah.
0956 618 720 gets you through to the Big Genesis 91.6. Boy, you're hearing it today again, you know, concerning our so-called celebs. You all have got a responsibility, whether you know it or not. It's time to live up to that responsibility. Good afternoon, you're on tune to Genesis Radio.
Good afternoon. Peace, man.
Yes, brother, peace. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Can you turn down your radio a bit?
Hold on. Yeah.
You
All
got
right, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, I'm just listening, right? And everybody talk about the people, them
Yes.
black celebrity and all these other stuff, right?
Okay.
Now, you just mentioned two black people, right? Where them one black people set them up, yeah?
Yes.
One is Michael Tyson,
And one is Malcolm X.
and one is Malcolm X, and the other one is Oriental,
Yeah.
yeah? Now, both of these people,
brother,
you know,
Peace. Sorry, brother, peace.
yeah,
Turn down your radio a bit because I'm getting feedback here.
yeah,
Yeah, that's better.
both of these people, right,
Huh?
are black people, yeah?
Yeah.
And are the same black people that set them up.
Yep.
Now, we mustn't forget that if you go to a black man and say, what's your brother, I have an idea, you know, and this idea, it work, I see it work. Black man, I'm going to listen to you, yeah?
Yep.
And I'm going to say, so much money you have, you know, no money, but you know, so the idea work, and you see it work, yeah?
Yes.
Now you go to a white man and say, what you know? I have an idea. I don't have no money. And listen to your idea, you know something?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say out of 10 time, right?
Yep.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
7 out of that 10 time, you walk away with something. Not in all cases, yeah? You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm hearing you, brethren.
So we can say when we see this, somebody should be doing this and doing that, right? When they were among their own people and need their people and their people there to give them the support, right?
Yep.
Their people turn them away. Their people reject them.
Do you honestly believe that, Brother Peace?
But listen, I'm not asking you this, you know. I tell you.
All right, let me give you an example of one of our modern celebrities then. You hear that, man, two people are called Ian Wright, okay?
Yeah.
Ian Wright was just a footballer, see? As we all know. Ian Wright started a talk show on television, okay? The first report on that talk show is that he had, the audience just blew away everything else that was on telly that night. How much of that audience you think was black?
How much of the audience you think is black?
Yeah.
Well, really,
Not the audience that was actually in the studio, but the
Yeah.
TV audience.
No, the TV audience. All right. It's not important how much of the audience was black, right? Because none of his own people, though some of his people were still there, you understand? None of his own people would call brother or sister, whether genetic or not, right? Yeah? None of his own people have supported him. You understand?
No, I don't agree with that, Bridget.
You don't agree?
No.
Let me put it a little bit further. Let me show you something else, yeah? One simple thing, right? Again, we talk about how we should help. I'm all for helping black people. I lay down a lot. You understand?
Yes.
And when that happens, you know something, you know, the support comes from?
Where?
From white people who I'm a stranger amongst them. And from us as a people, this is not the first time, the second time, right? They have done the same thing. You understand? So when we talk, we have to know and understand. Not understand, we have to over what we are saying and what time it is, my friend.
You know what? I hear that, Brother Peace, but you know what? I think that's an excuse. I'll tell you why I think that's an excuse.
Yeah.
Because Brother Malcolm, right?
Yeah.
He knew,
Yeah.
right, who all of his enemies were.
Mm.
Now, that didn't stop him from serving his people.
No.
And it didn't stop the people, genuine people, from supporting him.
Right.
Yeah.
And you see, they were stopping from support his people. That means his people were what, black and white.
What, his people?
Yeah, both black and white. You understand? Because it was the same people who assassinated, just like the same people who in the church assassinate Martin Luther King.
Yep.
You understand? It's the same people assassinating, but white people also know about it as well.
That's right.
So
Why would but these people specifically was assassinated because of what they was doing for the black community, not for black and white, for the black community.
No, not just for the black community. You see, that's where I miss it.
Well, then you tell me where, because Malcolm X, right?
Look.
Malcolm X came about after he was in jail and the man then talked to him. Malcolm come out and said, he started to talk about the injustices that was going on in America towards him and his people.
Right.
Brother Martin, right, come out of the church, and the only reason that he didn't come out of the church to preach the word of God and to tell everyone baptized. He came out of the church because of the injustices that was going on to him and his people. So they came out, they started their work and they continued their work specifically for their people, because it's their people that was going through the sufferation.
Yes, but you see, again, it still miss the point. You see, when Martin Luther, right, Martin Luther King, right, when he come out of the church now, it was the injustice.
That's right.
That he came out, that was perpetrated by his own people among themselves.
No.
Yes.
No.
I'm telling you.
No.
I'm not asking you. Tell
Rosa
it.
Parks was on the bus and the people then told her go and sit at the back and she refused.
Look,
See?
listen, right, precisely.
It wasn't no black people that told her. There was a law in America that no black people could
Over that. Over that. That was a struggle then. And when those same people that was in the struggle there, sir, you understand?
Yeah.
Because Malcolm was one of those people as well. yeah, and Martin Luther King, yeah?
Right.
When those people was fighting against that sort of segregation, you understand? That means to say you have certain redneck white people who was bigot, just like a certain, a lot you don't know them, my friend. Believe, man.
Well, come on, enlighten me, Bridget.
Listen,
Enlighten me.
you see, when those same people, right, came, we see it happen in this country too, you know. When those same people who were fighting against certain injustice, right?
Yes.
When they reach to a level where them can say, right, now sit down, we want justice for all the people,
Yes.
not just black people.
Yes.
Or, yeah, for all the people. Because you have poor black and you have poor white,
Yes.
poor Indian, poor Chinese.
So you don't believe...
Hold
but
on,
Bridget-
hold on. What
Okay.
these same black people were doing was in this movement, as it is in the church, right, was actually fighting down certain other black people when them look at us and say, but wait, we can't just so. Because look, we have in our own midst amongst our own people
Okay,
who,
I agree with that.
hold on, who are doing things to our own people, and we have outsiders who we look at is white people, right? And say, listen, it's not we, you know, but if your people are doing this other than giving us the opportunity, what
know
do you
what?
want us to do?
Well, brother, peace. I think...
Listen.
Hold on. Because I think now that you have missed the point, right?
Go
The
on.
point being, when Malcolm, when Martin, when Jesse Jackson, when, what's his name, Andrew Young, and all of them,
Yeah.
right, was talking and doing their business, the
Right.
white man was paying, funding, the
Yeah.
black man them that killed Malcolm X, right? Money came from some white man in towards that. Do you understand?
Which was to the same black people, them in the same movement, just like the same church thing. I assure you, man.
Yeah, but that's always gonna be the case. You're always gonna hold on. You're always gonna have some dirty little lowlife in our community that's prepared to sell us out for money.
Listen, let me show you something, right? It happened to me, man.
Yeah, it's happened to me as well, Bridgman.
It's not the first time, yeah? You what me have to say now. Me not deal with not just black people alone. Me deal with all humanity. And if the black don't like it, tough. And if the white don't like it, tough. And if the black like it, that's good. And if they don't like it, it's still good.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay, now,
Because I open door.
I hear that, but now I'm gonna say something. Now I know, right, that you're a man that, let's say then you know the Most High for yourself, okay? In whatever name you want to call him, but you know him, okay? Now, I'm sure that you've been taught, I'm sure that you know, if you've not been taught by man, you've been taught by the Spirit, right? That if you don't, well, that's why I said if it's not by man, then by the Spirit. If you don't clean up your own yard first, if you don't love yourself enough to find out the truth for yourself first, then you can't go and tell no one else the truth. You can't go and clean up no one else's yard. So we now, at the moment, we as a people on the face of this earth are going through the greatest atrocities ever recorded in history. We're going through it today. Now, no one else is going through it like us. Now, it would be rather foolish for me then to take on the struggle of the whole earth and just have my people struggle as a part of the whole of struggle. I've first got to deal with me and mine, and then I can go and help everybody else.
Right. But you hear the word, you use that word, right? I have to love yourself first.
That's right.
Well, my people is myself. That includes the black one and the white one. They are myself. You understand? But the one that I love, who is of my one before them transgress, right? Which is the same black people. They are the ones and their children that did what they did yesterday. Them did the same thing today. So I'm not asking no man what I say. Me tell it to black, white, Indian and Chinese. If them like it, nice. If them don't like it, it's still nice. Because it is written so. And there's no man anywhere can change it. But he himself seen and yet not seen and heard, and yet they perceive not, because them heart is far from him.
Okay, I'm going to give you another example of that, of you see that philosophy that you put over there?
I'm not dealing with that.
No, in terms of just, we must deal with everyone rather than just deal with us, okay? One thing I heard this a little while back on the news. A white man went out to somewhere in Africa, all right? and planted two fields of rice.
Right.
See, the African people made him a chief over all of them.
Yeah.
Now, by what you just told me, that would happen everywhere. You understand? And just simply because that white man bought 2 bags of rice, you're gonna say, okay, oh, they're helping us. Let's make them a chief. Now, I can't agree with that because
You can't say-
no, hold on. This is why I can't agree with it. See, white people have a conscience. They
Yeah.
do, right? Hold on. They have a conscience. They know what history records of
Yeah.
the workings of their parents, their grandparents, and their great-grandparents and
Yeah.
beyond. See?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, their conscience is going to make them either want to do something about the situation, be it give a black youth a job, or as this man done, go Africa with 2 bags of rice. All right? Now, because their conscience is making them do this, doesn't mean that we're going to throw our hat up in the air and give them all kind of titles and say, rare, oh, this man love us and that man love us because they're helping us. We have to look past that. The
Yeah,
problem is bigger than that, Bridget.
Exactly. Well, you hear this, you say about because the man bring 2 bags of rice over there, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you hear what he just say? The question what he just put forward, you know, the answer and the reality of it happened in reality. Where some black people, them never look past it. Them see the man come with 2 bags of rice, you know what them do? Them sell out them mother, them brother and sister for the 2 bags of rice.
Yeah, well, they're still, but the point is,
Hold on, listen.
no, hold on. The point is, Bridget, is that they're doing the same thing as you just said, because now the man bought 2 bags and they made him a chief over all of them.
Exactly. That to show you some of us mentality. As you say, right, you look to it straight away and you stamp your foot. I say, what? No, man, none of that. You know, see the man, them try to blind you.
Of course.
Because you see through it. You see through the veil. The veil removed from your eyes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But from what you've just said, people listening would think that what you're saying, when you're saying, oh, well, I'm for everybody, the blacks, the whites, the Chinese, and the Indians, and rare, and there's black men selling us out, and there's white people willing to help us. Them white people that help any black people, right?
Yeah.
They're not doing, they couldn't, if they even chopped off their head, it wouldn't be enough. You understand what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
would
but-
not be enough.
Yeah.
If
But
they used to
listen.
chop off their very head, Bridget, it would not be enough. It wouldn't be enough.
Right, but listen, hear the word I speak, right? Now there are those who were amongst us, right, at the time that gone, right, who, when them hear the word speaking out, them say, no, but hear this now, right? Those who was of the Caucasian, right, right, when them hear the word, them believe, right? So,
Yeah,
when
of course
listen,
they must
it's like you
believe.
speak,
Listen,
listen.
they must believe because of the wickedness that their hands have done.
Yeah, but hear this now. This wickedness that their hands have done, you know, right? That those who are the people, right? The Hebrew people, those are the people, you know, that the man are deal with. Because listen, I see your hand stretch out unto evil.
Okay, you
Do
said.
not know evil,
Okay,
right?
okay.
And hold on, and straight away, these people is his own people. Rather than draw back the man from evil, them stretch out the man even more to evil.
And they're the same people that you say that they're part of us and we must help them as well and rare. Look at India. India
Yeah.
let off 5 nuclear bombs the other day. Pakistan let off 5, and then yesterday let off another one.
Right,
And
no.
you're saying now that these people, we must join hands with them and link up with them. Can't you see what's on their mind?
No, because you see them reveal themselves. You say India let off, right? I'll show you something, you know. You say India let off, Pakistan let off 5, and left within another day let off another 1.
Yeah.
Pakistan has set out him and even further to evil. Look on it.
That's right.
I'm giving you something.
So why should I be trying
the
to
whole nation something, black and white.
Hold on. So if these people is stretching out their hands to evil, okay?
Yeah.
You know your Psalms. Psalms 1 says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand in the way of sinners." See,
Right.
you stay away from evil.
Right.
So now we get back to the point that when we say we're looking out for us and our own first,
Yeah.
look at these other people that you're bringing to me and look at where they're stretching their hands and then tell me that we're supposed to be linking up with them or trying to help them. No.
But listen now, right? You walk down the street, you see one and you say morning,
Yeah.
And you want who pass you by.
But we know why. You know why, brother.
Hold on. Precisely, you know why. And you want to break the spell now, you know. And you walk down the street and you see a publican. And straight away the publican say hello. You say hello because the publican look on you. Yeah, like, irrespective of what you look like, whether you have in a suit or you have not a suit on. You understand? You look for your one and you say hello and you want to walk past you because you want to recognize you.
But you know why, brethren? You know why. You've heard of Willie Lynch. You know what the syndrome is. You know that there's still a whole heap of people wrapped up in that. You know why. Now, you as a man that knows why, cannot, you then are the one that's got like the upper hand even over your own people because you know why they're like this.
Yeah, but precisely the fact. So what I'm trying to say is that you see some of these people, you have to understand, they do what they can for their own, but their own don't receive them. And so therefore they become disheartened. You understand?
I hear.
So when you look on it, you say, okay, if you see a person walk down the street, so rather than black and white, I may deal with everybody because so it is written. You understand? And for it is written like that, you can't change it. No man can change it. No man can change it. It's written like that. Yes? So even his very own has turned against him.
That's right.
While strangers and publican has received him.
But if you know that part, then you know why they turned against him. They turned against him because they saw what all other nations was doing and dropped what Father told them to do with and followed all these other nations.
Right.
So all of our problems started when we started to follow other nations and do what they're doing.
All right. So therefore, and then you find it when the other nation look, the other nation
They dropped what they was doing and picked up ours because they know it's the truth.
Exactly. So therefore, so who is at fault? Your own is at fault. Our own people is at fault. Because you see, the word was with them, you know, not with nobody else. No, the word with every nation that believe, whether you're rich, poor, blind, beggar man or thief. Okay, the thief that on the cross and they believe that this man is innocent. And what did he say? Where I am, you will be also. Because you believe a two black man that on the cross with the same, you know, and one across the other one. Yeah, him said to the other one, no man, look at us, we are guilty for our crime, but this man is an innocent man. Yeah, him said, Peter forgive him, say yes man. You understand?
I hear.
Just like the white woman where him say the children's food is not for the dog. I test him, test our faith. He said, but master, if the crumbs that fall it off of the master's table, if it's good for the dog, it's good for me. You understand? He said, woman, go on your way. Your faith has healed you. This is as true now, my friend, as it was then. Me not ask this. Me tell it to all. Who like it, because
I hear that, Bridget, but at the same time, you know, you have to, as I said, right, and this is going to be my summarization with you right now.
Yeah.
But as I said to you, if you look in the world today, the imbalances that are there, all right? Listen, your children, your people, they're more in jails, they're more in mental institutions, they're dying from famine, they're dying from war, they're being displaced from their land in numbers that's going over millions, okay? All over the globe, brethren. That is an imbalance, and I don't want no one to tell me, oh, that's Father. Nothing to do with it.
No, I'm Father. I just see them black people do them one black people.
Okay.
Some of them over here right now this day.
Okay, all right.
You understand?
Yeah, all right.
See them black people, my friend.
Big up for the call, bro.
Peace.
Right?
Peace.
One love for the words, all right?
Peace, yeah, man. Peace.
Okay, you that what you think? Is it a thing when, boy, all of us have to be doing it together, black, white, Chinese, pink, blue, whoever, just get together as one human family and, you know, just sort out this whole mess? Or is it a, listen, I'm looking out for me and mine, because everyone else is, India's got nuclear arms now. You think Africa's across the road from India, you know? You honestly think that India, if someone comes to Africa tomorrow, like Germany or one of them, to kick butt over in Africa, do you think that the Indians are going to jump up and say, listen, we've got nuclear things, you know, so you just leave our African brothers alone? Huh? Do you think so? It's not the poor Indian that controls a nuclear bomb, you know, or whatever they got out there. It's not the poor one. And if you know, if you experienced it here in this community, here in England, and England is proud to say we're a multicultural, multiracial, and even that, I don't want you all to forget, that just comes out of colonialization. That just comes out of going all over the earth, raping off the land, killing out the people, and taking out the wealth. That's why here today is such a multiracial country. See? China, India, Pakistan, you name it, they've been there and they've done it. So now these people have come back in, because what they done, they gave you British citizenship, they gave you British passport, and they say, boy, when you're ready, you know, come into England. Is that what it's about? Are you telling me, sir, that we've got to go back into that, my brethren? We've got to go back into that? Link up with these people, and boy, I don't know if they've got any love for us. I don't know. Now, yeah, there's going to be people all over the earth, you know, regardless of what race they are, that know the right and will continue to fight for the cause of the right. Let's not get that wrong, and let's not mistake that. But what about us and our own? Should we be looking out for ourselves? You know, if we improve right now, all over the earth, we're the leaders, you know. We don't realize it, but we're the leaders. The people them is copying everything we do. China reggae music done explode. Japan reggae music done explode. There's other far-flung corners of the earth you wouldn't believe. Switzerland, these places, where the black influence, be it Yardie, Bajan, Nigerian, Ghanaian, you name it, but it's just booting it. That's what's running things. Watch the World Cup. I can remember World Cup when teams like France never played one black player. I think it's only Germany now that are still refusing. So, you know, we're doing it in all aspects. We're doing it. But yet, it's not coming down to the ground level. It's not coming down on a community level. Climb up the ladder, step on everyone's head as you get to the top. And when you get to the top, just keep your boot firmly implanted on the last man's head that you passed. Well, we have got people in the community like that. Again, it doesn't matter what skin color you are. We all know right and wrong. Some people choose to do the wrong. You know, we're not going to be naive and say all black people are saints and all white people are devils and all Chinese people and Indian people and whoever else is in between. No, no, no. Man is man at the end of the day. But if you look at the situations that we're in, if you look at the causes, if you look at the results, if you look at the sufferation, if you look at the direction that the world is going in now, and who are the people that say they are the world leaders, then boy, either I'm living on a different planet or something is drastically wrong. 0956 618 721. That's the number that's going to get you through to the People's Talk Show. Live time. Come and hear your views. What have you got to say? If there's anything out there that's been going on in the wider community that you want us to know about, you want people to know about, give us a call. 0956 618 720.
And then we step up in our life.
Afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio?
Hotep. Hotep, it's Sister Ngozi.
Yes, it is.
Alright, first of all, I've got a few things that I'd like to raise. But the first is I'd like to say it's sort self first. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If you're African, sort out as an African.
Okay.
Yeah. If you are any so-and-so, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
Can you turn your radio down a bit, sis?
Yeah, hold on.
The worst poverty, what really bothers me, responsibility.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay. First of all, I've got a piece of a small poem that I'd just like to read, and it says it's called A Litany for Survival, and it's by Audre Lorde.
Okay, continue.
Okay. And when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard, nor welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive. Now, I'll continue. I'm calling in today about the accountability of the, quote, conscious, unquote, behavior and conduct of some individuals within our community.
Okay.
Yeah, the same ones whose rhetoric would have Genesis believers they live from an African perspective.
The same?
Yeah.
Sorry?
The same ones whose rhetoric, that is the talk, the public persona,
Yes.
would have the Genesis listeners. I'm a Genesis listener, I'm a community member.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they'd have us believe that they live from an African perspective. Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is, you remember I called in a few months ago with a problem of violence perpetrated on one of my youths? And due to this I received a call from one of the Genesis
Okay.
advice direction for sorting the rest of the problem. And for this I was very grateful. Yeah. Now after this a communication evolved between myself and the Source's family,
Yes.
which resulted in me being made aware all is not as it seems, and of the double standards that are lived.
Okay.
My advice was asked and I gave. The same advice I would offer to anyone in an unhealthy situation, which was sort it out or get out. Due to my advice, it resulted in verbal abuse and threatening calls I've received at my home. I wrote a letter which I delivered by hand, stating my opinion of the situation, and also said on several occasions, if calls to my home of that nature occurred again, I'd expose these double standards to the Genesis listeners.
Okay.
Lo and behold,
So hold on.
yeah,
Is it a Genesis listener that phoned you?
no, a Genesis member.
Okay.
And then, lo and behold, I received another call at my home, again with more verbal abuse. And what I find shocking and disturbing is the fact that I've made it clear to these people, if there's no love or respect, there can be no African or Rasta liberty. Yeah?
But at the same time, we had Africans that sold us.
I'm not saying that those things didn't happen, but when you when you say you're living from an African Rasta liberty,
Yeah.
then do it, yeah?
Okay.
So, what I said was they need to sort out their lives and stop inveigling people by using knowledge of African history and Rastafari as their cover. Yeah, and this is from me. I find it an affront to the true conscious African Rasta men and women who are presenting on Genesis, the conscious listeners and those families who live by the values of my heart, which is truth, justice, reciprocity and natural order. That such negative and abusive people can be represented of, quote, African Rasta, unquote, it's like wolf in sheep's clothing.
So hold on now then. Okay. We've identified one thing.
Yeah.
I know that you're a Rasta sister. How comes the Rasta community have got people, wolf in sheep's clothing, walking around, representing, and they're not doing nothing about it?
Well, I'm not too sure if the whole of the Rasta community or people of African Rasta liberty, because also remember, Rastafari isn't just of the head, it's of the heart.
That's right.
Yeah? So there's many people that will walk around and they don't have dreadlocks all on their head, and they don't wear His Majesty's badge on their shirt tie, but they are still Rasta. yeah? So I don't know why this is going on. But can I just finish this, what I've written, because I had to write this out because I knew that I wouldn't be able to keep it all in my head.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
So I said, you know, it's like sheep's clothing, and I know some will say I should not wash dirty linen in public. However, when threats of physical violence have been made, and I and others' children's lives are in a position of being emotionally and physically endangered, I do what I say I will do, because I refuse to allow the animal-level mentality to intimidate I and I family with conduct and behaviour of this nature, especially as there are many warriors in our community who live the African way. And if that conduct and behaviour is classed as such, then the overstanding is distorted.
Okay. Can I just say something?
You can.
Genesis Radio, right, have a, for want of a better word, a disciplinary procedure in place, okay?
Yeah.
Now, any of our listeners, and I know this through experience because one listener brought me through it, all right? Any of our listeners that have, you know, a real major complaint regarding one of our staff, and regarding the conduct, you know, their conduct in relation to Genesis, in relation, like if you got in touch with them through Genesis, right, there is a procedure that we go through and the situation gets dealt with.
And how is that going to work if people who, you know, do these things happen to be your management members or your management committee or whatever
it doesn't matter who they are, you know what I mean? Because no one person is bigger than the whole thing. Genesis is about a community. There's enough of us, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So no one person has got the last say or is running things.
Right.
You know, so there is a procedure, you know what I mean? And if you feel strongly enough that you've got to phone up and even, you know, bring it out live.
I have to do this because as far as I'm concerned, right, physical and emotional danger is been put on, is been threatened, and is happening. Yeah.
So then, for that purpose, this needs to be dealt with quickly.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Well, I'd say then, the quickest way is to come down. You know where we are.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're there tomorrow. Come down and talk to the whole of the management, and all of the presenters will all be there, and then it can get sorted out. Okay.
And can I just finish off what I've said?
Okay.
Yeah. And what I was saying is, you know, conduct and behaviour of this nature is not classed as a warrior's. You know, a warrior is the protector of the African family, not the destroyer. And a woman stands up for herself and is a mother and foundation and nurturer, not a colluder with the oppressor. Yeah, right. And I've gone on to say, you cannot create a strong nation if some have Willie Lynch's mentality. The European tried to distort and fragment our minds, our nation, yet we still stand fighting. We need to stand beside each other and not on top of each other, or we will not come through. I'm not afraid of you. You're not afraid of me. You said what you mean. I mean what I say. Positive mind, positive way. This conduct and behaviour is an affront to our ancestors and life. Conscious and collective minds do not support this lack of love and disrespect for life. And I quote, to love is to do something for someone seeking nothing in return. However, respect as an integral component of a society cannot be established without some sort of spiritual initiation. If you love, you would not want to hurt others. You would take the time to learn to transcend anger, so you could treat others with respect and be accountable for your actions. And we have the obligation to remove ourselves and those for whom we have responsibility away from those influences that retard our growth. Violence begets violence, evil begets evil. And my last words is divorce the culture you're married to.
So, tell me something.
Yeah.
Sorry, just before you go. You wrote this?
I wrote it, yeah.
So this thing has disturbed you so much that's how deep you've gone?
If I had to, I can't go into it because it's other people's business, but it has affected me in such a way that, I've had these abusive phone calls, I've had threats made, yeah, and, I am not a woman that is going to sit down and take that My name is Ngozi. I am an African woman, and I do not take that kind of sugar honey iced tea from not from the enslaver and not from his
enslaved.
slave. Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, I can stand up for myself. I can stand up for my rights, and I'll do that, and I'll keep doing that for myself and my community, and for others in my community who are suffering. Yeah, because I deal with humanity and love. And if you tell me that if you present yourself to me as humanity, as Rasta, as love, yeah, then there's behaviour that you cannot put out, and you are accountable. Yes, people are going on like they're not accountable. They are accountable, and they have to take responsibility for their actions.
For real.
You know, and
all of us do.
The behaviour that has been, you know, experienced, yeah, is not on, you know, and I'm not prepared to accept it. You know, I'm not prepared to be put in a position where I am in fear. Yeah,
I agree with that.
I'm not accepting that. Yeah, I'm big enough. I'll stand and take you on in 4 rounds if that's what you want. But I'm bigger than that. I don't need to have a physical with you. Yeah. If you're a man or you're a woman, I'm a woman, so I will stand and defend. If I'm in the wrong, then I will also accept that.
You're in the wrong.
If I'm not in the wrong, then I have to defend. Yeah. So.
I hear that. Well, I'm going to say it to you. Calm down tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, if from that bad, come down tomorrow.
And what time is that?
I'd say around 7:30.
Okay.
All right? One love.
And I'd also like to just big up all the people who going to the Stephen Lawrence campaign.
Okay.
Down at the Hannibal House. And I think that, you know, a lot more people, like, you could take 10 minutes out of the day. That's all you need to do is just to sit there for 10 or 15 minutes. You know, if you've got children, there's a space where you can sit with your children. You know, we have to give that support. If you're saying that you're, you know, living by a certain liberty, then show it.
Show it.
Yeah.
For real.
All right, Commissioner.
One love.
All right, one love.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
There you all again, you know, Genesis Radio, that's how we do it. It's a family affair, see? So everything has got to be dealt with in decency and in order. 0956618720. Big up sister there, strong back sister, long time Genesis Radio listener. Before I was even here, I was listening to her talking on Genesis Radio. See? So to all of our black sisters out there that's just been holding it up over the last, you know, that these years are getting harder and harder. And a lot of you are just struggling on your own with your children. Struggling not in the sense that you're not managing, struggling in the sense that there's an unbalance. You know, so big up and enough respect to all of you out there. At the same time, boy, where were we? Yes, Hastings. Come on, I want some information from you all. Not even information, I want some feedback. We want to do a trip to Hastings in August. 2 coach loads so far we're going to book of children, disadvantaged children, or one-parent children even, and they're not necessarily disadvantaged, but one-parent families, etc. Children from the inner cities, and our disabled children from the inner cities, and our elderly as well. We're going to be taking them out for the day. You know, we're paying, no cost to them. So if you want to make donations to us, because Genesis are going to be footing the bill. And we're just going to take them out and show them a great time. You know, trying to get back the community vibes again. Trying to make us, as you heard the sister there say, if you're coming from an African perspective, then, you know, live an African liberty. At the same time, do you all remember the bridge in that phone last week? I'm sure last week ended the show and said, African people do not deal with love. That is a misnomer. That is a education. African people do not deal with love. 0956618720 gets you through to the People's Talk Show. Boy, what's happening to you all today? Is everyone out? Or what? You all watch? Is there some football on telly or something? What's going on? We got so much to cover. And I'm not hearing you all phoning and talking about nothing. We've got so much international things that's been going on. And you know something? I remember a few weeks ago, we was discussing again, is these G8, formerly the G7, but they've got another gang member, they're the G8 now. And they was meeting here. And for one day in the week, it was said, oh, they're considering wiping out Africa's national debt. And when they have this meeting, that's what they're going to be speaking about. You know, you heard it for one day. Nothing's been said since. Not another word about Africa's national debt. If anyone has heard anything, give us a call. 0956618720. On the Hastings trip, we're going to need volunteers, please. Now, what I would like you all to do, if you'd like to volunteer for that, there shall be a form down at the Lewisham Way Youth Centre, and you can come in, just put down your name and a contact number. It will be confidentially stored, so not anybody will just be coming in and looking at it. But if you can put down some form of detail that we can get in touch with you and what you know will be able to do. And bear in mind the kind of day it's going to be. We're taking out our elderly, some of them very elderly, not able to move at a great speed. Some of them not able to walk even, you know, so that's going to be some work. We're also taking out some of our disabled children out of our community and showing them a great time as well. And at the same time, some of them are not able to walk. Some of them you're going to need a lot of patience, you know, to cope and to make them enjoy their day as much as you're going to enjoy yours. So obviously it needs a certain character of person. But if you think you can fit the bill, you know, if we've got any nurses out there that's going to have a day off or can arrange their days from now, what we'll do is during the course of the week we'll give you the exact day. And, you know, if we've got any of our nurses, any of our carers out there that would like to support, again, contact us and give us some details. And let's just make it a boom day, a family day. We lost that call. If you'd like to try again, caller. 0956-618-720. And if you can't make it on the day, as I said, you know, we're going to be footing it ourselves. So any donations to do this would be greatly appreciated. Not by us, but by the participants. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Hello, good afternoon, Commissioner.
Yes.
I'm not really taking part in the talk show. This is Oriot. Not taking part in the talk show. I'm just telling you the reception is kind of very poor out here. That's probably why you're not getting so much calls.
Okay, where are you?
Well, I'm in Rotherhithe.
Okay, we're going to try and sort that out.
All right, Commissioner?
Big up for that.
Talk to you later.
How are you?
I'm finding in the best of health.
Long time no hear.
Yeah, but I'll talk to you here, yeah?
Okay, you
Peace.
take care, man. Okay, we got a brother out there in the Rotherhithe area telling us, boy, reception's a bit dodgy out there. I mean, it sounds crystal clear in here, but again, give us some more phone checks and we'll get working on that and try and make it a bit more clearer. 0956-618-720 gets you through to the People's Talk Show, 91.6 in the house, FM. Now listen, you all don't want me to start, you know. I've done told you already, you know how much problems it is for Genesis to keep on the air. You know, if you know how much Genesis has to go through to make sure that this People's Talk Show is on every Sunday, and you all are going to sit down there and not even participate, huh? Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sis.
You know who you're speaking to again?
Sorry?
Do you know who you're speaking to?
No.
Louise?
Louise?
Yes.
Yes, Sister Louise.
You never done the link up, but anyway, the station sounds Chris. So
Oh,
please don't
Louise.
mash up my tape, okay?
Sister
don't
Louise.
Don't mash up my tape, okay?
Okay,
Okay.
Listen.
You got my number. I'm hanging up now. I'm in the middle of frying my fish, okay?
Okay,
So just keep the link up as it is because it's safe.
it's safe.
Yes.
All right, big up.
I'm in Lewisham, as you know.
I will be down Lewisham Way tomorrow.
I hope so.
Okay.
What's happening at Lewisham Way?
Well, you know, if you can come down, then you'll get the thing.
Okay.
Yeah?
Well, you got the link up.
All right, then.
See you soon.
You take care.
Peace.
Okay, we've got a sister there saying they sound clear as crystal clear. Let's take this call. Good afternoon, you're on tune to Genesis Radio.
Good afternoon, it's Dawn from Hackney.
How are you, Sister D?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm safe. How do we sound out there?
Right, you've got this jungle station interfering.
Really?
And I can't even pick you up on 91.6. I'm on 91.55, and even that's not sounding too clear.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna try. We'll try, but you know what these people are like.
Yeah, I do know what's going on.
Every Sunday is the same old thing.
Yeah, I do know what's going on, but just to let you know.
Okay, say hello
Thank
to
you.
Mummy for me, all right?
I will do.
And you
Thank
stay
you.
strong.
Bye-bye.
See you. Every Sunday they're on it. That's what I'm saying, you know. That's why I don't understand when the phone for, you know, all 10 minutes, 12 minutes and the phone don't ring. I can't understand it because you all know the problems. You know what these people try to do. You know they're blocking us out ever so often just to disturb whatever's going through. If we was doing something wrong, they would leave us alone. But we're talking to each other. We're expressing our opinions and our views, and we're bringing out the anger and the anguish that we're feeling to each other. And in this kind of society, that can't be done. That's dangerous. Because when you people start thinking and acting on the correct thoughts that you're thinking, then boy, that's a liability. But not just England, for Europe. Are we really that afraid? You know, when we put all the talk down, when we put all that aside, are we really that fearful? 0956618720.
You really gotta free your mind, and then you step up in a life. Now the way to step up is to come off the shelf. No run down the world of material wealth. Just think about your knowledge and your spiritual health. I know your enemy, and then you will love yourself. Got the African race, no problem we face. Like we love push yourself back in a
positive vibes. You see, at the same time, again, it's second week now, you know. Is there anything positive in the community that we can big up our hands to and say, yep, I'll take off my hat. I will celebrate that. I'm going to give you all something for everyone that didn't know. There's a place in Africa. All right, we'll come back to it. We're going to take this call. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Yeah, hello, yeah, good afternoon, yeah, this is Paul.
Yes,
yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, actually, I don't want to participate in your, but I just want to tell you that I will be at Lucian Way. I'm actually talking from Lucian now.
Okay.
Yeah, and really, I'm interested in what you've been talking, and I do want to participate.
Okay,
So,
well, actually, it's not a public meeting, but sometimes our listeners can come down there and pick up stuff and, you know, get certain information and whatever, and then from there we'll arrange another time to meet.
All right then, yeah, okay. That's okay, yeah. All right then. What time do you think I could come there?
Well, I'm going to make a point of being there at 7 o'clock. So if you reach there at 7, we'll meet.
In the evening?
Yes, in the evening.
Yeah, that's okay, yeah.
Okay?
All right then, I'll speak to you tomorrow.
You take care and keep it locked, brethren.
Bye.
Okay, as I was saying to you all, something positive that we got to look up to. Something positive that black people all over the earth can clap their hands and say, yep, yeah, I'm glad for that. There's a place in Africa called Ethiopia. Now, anyone that knows anything about African history, or even not history, let's say our lifetime, what's been going on in, say, the last 30, 40 years, this place has suffered countless famines, countless wars from 2 years, and destabilization of the people from the land. And all of this, remember, is on the back of mustard gas being dropped on the country by the late Mussolini and his cronies. Now, 2 years ago, Ethiopia had a coup, was it? Or, you know, an exchange of leaders, and a part of the country was actually taken, and much of what was going on in like Croatia and former Yugoslavia happened in a part of Ethiopia, and people wanted independence and their own land and really. Oh, I'm going to finish it off. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Are you sure? Are you there, Genesis FM? Listen, man, you got bad reception all coming down to Oval, Brixton Road.
Really?
Dr. OMD talking.
Okay.
Okay, listen, black people way out there. You need your presence there, Stephen Lawrence Inquiry. Just your foot is the vote now. Can you dig what I'm saying, man?
Oh, you don't have to say nothing. Just walk down.
I ring the week before and say it's a waste of time. You know, we don't go beyond that. Which we have. But I turn up still. You know?
Okay.
There's a lack of sistering, brethren.
Yep.
You know, church people.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
From both camps.
For real.
Christian.
For real.
Muslim.
For real.
You know.
For real.
We had a week there, Whitson. We could have taken a few kids, show the present, and get an understanding of how the court system can be in the present, because they have new technology there.
Yeah.
I'm amazed. When I say I'm amazed, I've learned something.
Like the technology they got there.
Yeah, and then bring it up on the VDU, the visual display screen.
That's right.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, people who ain't going there, they're doing their self-harm. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
He isn't there, but the family is still there, no? I saw the mother couldn't really say anything to her. I see the father, I don't know really what to say, but I turn up, you know?
For real.
I see I have a sister and she's supposed to be quiet, but certain things will come out. The man talking, the policeman himself, I don't know what rank he's, I can't remember his name, but it seems like, you see the guy's father who's involved in all this thing, the white youth I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It seems like this guy's involved with the police and all of that.
For real. Well, at the end of the day, all of them come out of one club.
Can you tell me, do me a bedroom for me? Yeah, get up off the chair and walk to a window with your mobile, man. I can pick you up better. Come on, telephone box. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're switching and cutting, and I'm just fading with you at the same time.
But that's hard for me to do right now, you know.
That's different, but bear with me, yeah?
Yeah.
When I went down there and gained a bit of experience and all that, I went down there with the intention, like, you go to Camberwell Court, and then, like, you see all, like, how can you put it? Written in a little way and quoted in a little way, and with the judge at the front. But you had a black sister, she was asking the police about a certain thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the way she approached them. I can't say she was talking for Stephen Lawrence or talking against him.
No.
She was a mutual, you know?
For real.
If we had a few white people like her in the mutual camp, you know, with ideas and that, you know?
Yes.
The presence there is needed as well. White people as well and Indian people.
Their presence is needed as well.
Yeah. You understand what I mean? Even though when I say the presence are needed and that, it shows that they're caring. And some of us don't want care. Some men want to coke it out. You understand? Sister want put needles in themselves and stop being black. I'm talking about our generation. Talking about my generation. Getting needles up the vein. Talking about my generation.
At the same time, okay? You was down there. You saw like all of the people sitting behind the computer screens. You see the front row.
Yeah.
How many black people did you see then?
When I went down there, I see a few guys, bow tie guys, yeah? I see a few girls that just weird. When I say sort of backward in their veil and all of that, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, their presence was there, you know?
All right.
I see a bowling brethren. I see the guy get shot in his eye. You know, I mean, the same brethren I say respect his due. I didn't know he was him, but my name previously, he used to go Pentecostal church. Yeah? And I bought a brethren. I show you how I get there, how the girl went, man. I don't know what getting to me. But me go up there, I went and buy my Christian brethren to come with me, and I say I give him money to reach up there. If you have to do that, it's just 60 pence, man, a pound. Man, don't buy tenants for a day. Don't buy a Guinness for a day, you know? Don't do this for a day. Just sacrifice, like the sister said, 10 minutes, 5 minutes of your time, even a minute. You're passing through there. The hardest thing about it, you have to understand this. When you get down elephant, it come like an elephant. Yeah, in a castle. The castle on top of the elephant, but we don't see it because it's pink.
Yeah.
And then it's in the shopping center. You're not thinking to go that way. You're thinking to go Barrow way. Or even to the West End way. You understand me? Or East End way.
Yep.
You understand me? And no one's, like, you need someone at Elephant Castle Station sort of preaching, man. Even if you have to be a Pentecostal guy giving out leaflets, you need someone there doing that. Because you're going past, because that's a busy area.
I was just going to say that, as you're saying now, that
yeah, but if you have a Pentecostal a Christian guy or Islam guy down Brixton Station every day talking crap, you understand? But why can't they publicize it in that way? You understand what I'm saying?
And at the same time, you know, I was down there one day and there was a priest down there, was one of our black Pentecostal ministers there.
Yeah, two different guys. When I say two different guys, them sort of, you know what, just only white and
That's right.
things just around him.
Yeah.
I don't know what domination come from. Is he Christian, Muslim, Buddha, or what? You understand me? Then you had a black guy in the front row sitting there. There was three at the very front, looking towards we as crowd of people. I wasn't like that in that side. I was on the side. But at the very front, you had a black guy up there. So a church guy in grey. Who's he, man?
I don't know, but they're turning out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're there, you know. So.
Yeah, spread the word, man. We need the gospel spread, man. The one here on earth, though. You have to do it on earth first. I was saying, I get my Christian brethren down there, and I say to my Christian brethren, is that guy who on the radio I really make come. Then I realize it's him who was down the church. You know what this brethren said when I see him a few years ago? He won't be like that. Reverend can preach like that one day. Brethren, I go down there. Hey, brethren, I reckon he could do it. At first, I think he was joking. And I always said to my Christian brethren, the way him come, but he's extreme to me, if you understand what I mean. My brother's Christian brethren said, boy, this man gone astray, you know, because of his views and that. But I saw him turn up Stephen Lawrence. I didn't have to browse him and him have one eye. And he's still there.
That's right.
You understand me?
That's
I
right.
look at Stevie Wonder, he had no eye. And he turned out at the White House for Mandela.
That's right.
But Mandela don't do nothing for we. He don't give me no gold mine.
Will, you know, maybe he's got some plan up his sleeve. But big up for going down there, Bridget. See?
It ain't that, man. We need something from Mandela. They owe us. We people in England, America, South America, the Caribbean. You understand? They owe us.
Yes.
If they could give away a diamond mine, a copper mine to whoever to keep them in government, yeah, they owe us, man. Farrakhan could say, he want this from this and that source and that. But we not get nothing from them. We need what we
So
choose.
what you're saying now, right, because you've opened a whole can of worms there. If I got you right, you're saying that the African governments now should be paying us as well.
I'm not saying that. They ought to know they ought to be, man. You look into what you go through. You understand me? Who paid the Jews? And he said, brother, praying for his same sinful mistakes. Well, so why can't them urban, whatever you call them, sick, idiotic people there in the bush and jungle can't pay us for what we go through? They walk the streets of England due to our suffering. They never had to stand up and fight Teddy Boy, skinhead. They used to run. You understand me? They used to get kicked and boxed up in school. And then they'd side with them people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Am I wrong or right to say what I'm saying?
Boy,
I don't want to hear Minister Farrakhan rubbish. I don't want to hear no other rubbish. I want to hear what you went through in school.
Well, yeah, I went through the same thing in school.
Try it though. We don't need to say no more. We live on here.
But I'm
you understand what I'm saying? You be truthful to yourself, truthful to your family.
Yeah, I went through the same, but I'm also going to say, Bridget, that I had African brothers in school with me, and when I say African, I mean them that never went through what we went through. And in school, they went through it from the white youths, and they went through it from us as well.
Brethren, we went through something different on the plantation. A syndrome, brainwash syndrome. It was good and bad. It teaches you different things.
That's the truth.
You understand what I'm saying? We didn't need to go through it, but we taught we good and bad.
For real.
You understand? We taught we to hate one another in different ways and love one different in different ways. And we as Bajans, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, all the Caribbean, America, we have never begged no one for nothing. We come over here and work decently. Mom, dad, your mom, my dad, whoever, yeah?
For real.
6'2", what do you call it, 4, 5? Look at them times them getting up in the morning, man. You probably might have to get up, make breakfast. You understand me? And you spread that around, but now we don't do them things that day. Because we have video, we have TV, we have washing machine, and our sisters now do what they're supposed to do. They want to sit down, chat rubbish about East End and Carnation Street, and don't want to be a woman of today. You understand what I'm saying? Bear with me a minute before I forget what I want to say. Yeah?
Okay.
They had a program on Channel 4, Taboo. I caught it, the last one, the 6th or 5th, and a black woman was doing it. Yeah?
Okay.
But the one I caught, I don't know if all of them was there. There was 3 black men, 3 black women. No, 2 black women and 1 half-caste woman. Yeah, but I could be wrong. You understand what I'm saying? But look at the images. We need a TV station as well. A Genesis.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
We have Genesis when we need revelation. We need a TV station, man. Whether legal or illegal, because images, yeah?
Yeah.
What I'm saying, images is a funny thing.
Yeah.
I'll show you the images I saw, yeah? And the description of themselves. I didn't see all of it, but certain things I pick up. The black guy was a dread, yeah? He was shaven, yeah? I clipped my beard, you know? Sometimes I cut it down very low, just to get through in life.
Okay.
Yeah? You dig what I'm saying?
I hear that.
But this black guy is 6'4".
Yes.
And he's a girl. Or whatever. He refused to be a man. You understand? But he's working out there. Then you have 2 other black guys. Curly perm. You understand what I'm saying? And then whatever. And the things they're complaining about. It's very distressing.
Yeah.
And like, they're working, you can't even get a job.
That's right.
You can't make ends meet.
That's
Just
right.
go for both. We, in the black, white, yeah, indifference within the community, and we're trying to make ends meet and live a life what is decent.
That's
yeah?
right. That's right.
They're in that position. I can't remember what background they come from that. But let's go to the girls now. One had a sort of curly dread, and one had a proper dread, yeah? And they were talking, I can't remember, whatever. But can you check into this or get someone to telephone me, whatever they say? Forget the bottom and lesbian, black, white, or what, but you have to go into this. Cause every black issue coming out, I don't know from when, you always have this gay rights thing involved with.
That's right.
Yeah, and when I look into this, you can see why we are losing. Those people are in the position, but they're not fighting for us. They fighting for someone little dibby ditty feeling or what. Here the black girl. You see this black girl? 2 of them I probably go for on the street. I would wonder why I didn't get my little oopsie-doopsie for the night. I want to keep on going home, I rehearse and come back. Why or what? I would never think they're funny. You understand what I mean? And some brethren might crack out and think they have a complex due to that. Because they don't know the ins and out behind the walls we have in front of us. I'm talking within the city, outside the city, and the greater city. I'm talking about London, what I know. From where you live, Lewisham, or wherever Genesis, coming down to the river and going to North Harlesden and going... northwest Harlesden, Shepherdbush West, and then go to Tottenham and come back around, come down south.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't see in them walls. Whenever we go into the real heartland, the city, we don't see behind them walls. But them people got official jobs that they can help people, and they're complaining about. Here, the black girl, I would go for. She's black. Everyone know that, but she won't make an issue about it. She won't come out and let everyone know she's a lesbian. Sorry. I couldn't, Virgin. I can't. That's the first time I ever watched one of them shows. Take it in. I knew we would switch off. But me say, we are running away from ourselves when we see them things, because we might feel threatened. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here in London, I'm not that way inclined. I beg you. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, face up to certain things. You understand what I'm saying? Face up to it. I only have a few more digits left. Yeah? Cut that issue now. Yeah, but we have to face up to that. Let me get back to the brother who telephoned a little after that. Yeah, I don't have no radar, I don't know how I sound, but I'm just responding to certain things.
Okay.
Yeah? My brother telephoned on to say that love is funny. You know something, Bojan? I've never seen my mom or dad kissing in my life. I always see them argue and fuss and fight. You understand what I'm saying? But girl, I'm saying with the Virgin Californian about love. My mother and dad is still together up to today. All I see them work for one another. I hear the basic, right? Like I said, the Virgin could say, talk about love is different. You understand what I'm saying? I see them fight over watch a TV show. You understand what I'm saying? And we're still going through it today. But the big escape, someone might have a TV in another room. So I tell them, say, every black you up, no, not your station, Power Jam, that guy is misinformed, bad. That every youth of today have a computer in their house, you want to know what's wrong. Every youth don't have that, black, white, or whatever.
That's right.
Something's missing out there, but might get a little provisional due to Tony Blair's inside, they can use it at school.
Yes.
But I think I'm drifting away from the point. Come back to what I'm saying. Love, I've never seen my mum or dad hug, but they're still together up to today. I see my old man, my mum works 7 days a week. He'll probably cook weekend. And my old lady probably pick the peas, put them on, pick the rice or whatever. You understand what I mean?
For real.
The meat season. All I have to come and get in school. I don't get in all the time on time, but just get in, pretend, and start fight. She feel good. It's season, but we not teach our youth that thing. Then they take them down McDonald's and weaken them structure. You understand me?
And
then they can't stand firm. You know? Then I teach them to yam. You understand what I say? Then I teach them like to kneel, put some flour water together and kneel it. You know? And see if them fingernail tough. You understand me? All them I teach them go down some Chinaman invention and put some stupid 20-pound fingernail on them thing and instead behind book. Them I talk rubbish and pull one head, straighten out, talk about Tom, Jack, Jill, and then stupidness.
So
that's what we're missing out.
So you're saying that it's the parents that's actually teaching the youths these things?
I'm not saying that the black man has no troubles to deal with as well. He's not there.
Yes.
And the woman there, she's playing two roles and not knowing she's playing it sometimes.
Yes.
Some who are playing both for man and woman, they know how to do it and they can sort of blend it. And then they have their family, brother, sister who might help them out and can sort of blend up. But some of them don't. And then like that mind-blowing experience on Channel 4, shows you them things. But you have to ask, how two black boys with curly hair, I could say, let's get any black chick out there. How come they aren't funny?
For real, and at the same time, there's got to be, why is Channel 4 doing these kind of productions?
Hey, Bridget, I don't want to ask why I was glad I wake up. I came in. Yeah, and I put on the TV, and you see a few black faces, and I sit down and got tolerant on watching it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
You understand me? I had a doublet Guinness stout. You understand what I'm saying? A split in my hand and second that, and I feel disturbed every time them people open their mouth. You see, they interview the black woman.
Yeah.
And inside I have to be strong to tolerate them people.
And
by the way, I hope Africa or the West India or the black government do not go down the path of India.
Yeah, for real.
You understand what I'm saying?
But then there's some people that say, look, brethren, if everyone else has got nuclear bomb, how comes why shouldn't we have it? Because when they're ready to let off...
We're the children of the earth and we don't want to disturb the earth. All we need to do is get some silicon and build a big glass mirror over us. You understand what I'm saying? Letting the sun ray, wherever anyone aim at us. Like he had Madman Ronald Reagan. He had a ray gun up in the air saying, poof, take them out before they hit. You have to make bombs like butterflies, man. I'm running out of time. Hold tight, London, hold tight, Genesis. Keep up the good job, your love, everyone.
One love.
Keep it safe, yeah?
Yeah, man, take care.
All right.
Okay, we're hearing it there live and direct from out of the streets of London scene. Boy, we're in a state, huh? We're in a state. How comes these TV companies are being able to make these documentaries or these late night talk shows? Have you all seen some of them? Particularly Channel 4, huh? They're a joke, and they're supposed to be representing us black people. That's what's being put out there. That's what the white community and everyone else thinks we're really like. We're just letting it happen. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio. Okay, call us. Sorry we lost you. If you'd like to try again, 0956 618 720 gets you through to the People's Talk Show. This is the Big Gen 91.6 FM, blasting it out live and direct all over the capital for you today. And boy, remember, every day between the hours of 12 and 2, I believe, we have some educational form of information coming over to you from all directions. Genesis is so diverse. So diverse, a true and proper, correct representation of our community. So, keep it locked. And I'm sure, I'm 100% positive, you will hear something which will enlighten you. And you as well may be able to enlighten us.
Time to make a change, time to make a change, yeah.
And then we step up in our life. What do I see? The worst poverty. What really bothers me? Responsibility.
Sorry, caller. Try again. These calls seem to be just slipping out right now. 0956618720. You hear what the brother said there, huh? He's backing up what Brother Peace was saying about black people in our community. That's just disrespecting everything, and they're doing a lot more damage than any of the other members of the human race could do. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Yeah, you were talking about something about Ethiopia. Could you continue that?
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me, Bridget. Okay, I'm going to go into it now.
Okay, bro.
Yeah, nice one. And off of the back of famines, which are a result of the mustard gas. For anyone that doesn't know the history, when you let mustard gas off on the land, it poisons everything. Not for the day, not for the minute, but for many, many, many years to come. Well, I had the good fortune to be in Ethiopia in '92 and see enough of the land that had been scorched by this gas. Oh, they're not going to let me finish. I'm going to get back to it. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
I got this idiot station just cracking you up.
Okay, well, I don't even know what to say because you sound crystal clear to us.
Yeah, but I'm getting like half for you and half for him, man.
Okay, where are you?
I'm in Boston, and the area where the brother was reasoning about was Eritrea.
Eritrea.
A fraction from Ethiopia.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
We're going to try and sort out the sound, all right?
Please do, man.
Okay.
God.
At the same time, you all know how it goes, you know what I mean? They're always trying to bust us up and broke us down. But, you know, hopefully we'll clear it up and you can make it just sounds a bit clearer up there. See? We'll do what we can. Ethiopia. Well, anyway, what was I saying to you all? Yes. 92, I was fortunate enough to visit Ethiopia, and, you know, it was just astonishing to see the results of the mustard gas in practically half of Ethiopia is still very barren, very barren. And as you know, if you know about Ethiopia, a lot of it is mountainous terrain as well. So you can imagine the land, and then the people moving, then the war, then the famine, etc. To cut a long story short, something for black people all over the earth to celebrate, clap their hands at. Do you know that Ethiopia, from this month, have produced enough wheat, rice and food crops to feed the entire country, and they are also exporting. And this is a country off of the back of mustard gas, war, famine, displacement and etc. everything else. And now 1998, Ethiopia are producing enough food to feed themselves. Official. Good afternoon, you're tuned to Genesis Radio. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd just like to mention a couple of things.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got the question in... yeah?
Sorry, Bridget, you're breaking up a bit.
Hey.
You're gone. Sorry, Bridget, we lost you. If you'd like to try again, 0956618720. Phone's playing up at the moment, or I don't know. You know these people have got all heap of sophisticated devices nowadays. But we're going to bear with it and struggle through, and it's not going to take away the celebration. Celebration, if there's anything to celebrate, I'm going to tell you all again, for everyone that didn't hear, Ethiopia, that you hear people say, ooh, what y'all got Africa for, and Africa are rare, and book. And look how them people are trying to escape, and them have famine and rare. Ethiopia, today, produces enough food to feed the entire country. and they are exporting. Tell me if that is not something that we should celebrate. Hmm? If you know your history, you tell me. I defy anyone to phone up Genesis Radio and say no, that is not something to celebrate. Because I think it is. And if you want to know what that number is 0956618720. They're making great change in ET. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Good afternoon, Blood. Where's Ethiopia exporting this thing to then? This seed business. What country they exporting it to, Blood?
They're exporting food to America and I think to somewhere else in Europe at the moment. The facts we can show, I'm sure that we can dig them up somewhere and let you all know exactly where the rest of their grain and their wheat, etc. is going to. But, you know, that's one thing to look at. But let's celebrate that fact, that now this is a place that even last year famine was knocking on the door. And if you know how many people die from famine in Africa, it's not no joke business, you know. It's not no joke business. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of people. Like what's going on in Sudan right now. It's not no 10,000 or no 200 or no 500 people. It's entire communities. Can you imagine the whole of London suffering famine? Well, some of these places that have famine is 4 or 5 times the size of London. So maybe that gives us some idea. Let's make a change. Celebration for ET, Ethiopia. They've done it, they've blown it, see? Now that is progress. That is what I like to see.
And then we step up in our life. Material wealth, spiritual health, you will love yourself. What's happening to the black men? Me hear no good.
So if there's anything else out there, you know, come on you all. I don't believe this, but listen, you're having a laugh, you know. If you're telling me there's nothing out there that we can find to celebrate, that we can find to clap our hands at, that we can find to tell our young people to give them some more oomph, some more pride, some more, you know what I mean, something to excel towards. You're telling me there's nothing? But for real? You're telling me you don't know a woman out there that works her fingers to the bone and does a job that enough people wouldn't want to do and does it beautifully and makes everyone around her happy and is continually strengthening people around her? You're telling me you don't know people like that? It's time to celebrate, you know. And celebration, you see, this is the thing with us. Anytime black people hear celebration, they automatically think of music. Sometimes we must learn to celebrate without music, you know. Remember last year we had the Black Awareness Day, no music. And we celebrated. We celebrated in the fact that we got together and we reasoned on our issues and what was relevant to us. That's a form of celebration. Here's another form. Celebrating the achievements of black people, of black nations all over the earth. Positive things. Last week again, you know, we heard that there is a brother in Nigeria that's developed a car. Car's made almost totally out of wood, you know. But it's a car, it runs everything. People are queuing up in Nigeria to buy the car and he hasn't even started rolling it off the production line yet. That's something to celebrate. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Hi, Sandra from Texas.
Yes, sis. How are you?
Yeah. I just really want to speak up Effia. She goes to our Saturday school. I just want to tell London Town a story.
Okay.
She's a 14-year-old girl and she's in a day school. Now, she was at school and she was in a history lesson and the teacher started to talk about Africa and all the rest of it and how unbelievable it was and all the rest of it. You know, there was plenty of black children in the class, but she was the only child that got up, you know, and, you know, started to run down, you know, the facts, the literal facts of how Africa is and how Africa
was and how, it is developing, And the teacher, being a white woman, was so embarrassed and so shameful that she literally apologised to the girl in front of the whole class, you know what I'm saying? She said, she obviously doesn't know nothing about Africa, So, I just want to say, big up to all the Saturday children, so at the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says, no black people are going to get nowhere unless they know themselves. And if they don't know themselves, they're not going to be nothing as far as I'm concerned. I know there's a lot of black people that know, but at the end of the day, when the time really comes, you watch and see. There's not very many black people, what I'm saying, are going to be standing.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? But big up to you, Commissioner. Nice to hear you back on the station.
Nice to hear you as well, sis.
Yeah, and I'd like to say hi to Hawa. I know she changed her name, but I can't remember it. But big up. And big up to all the brothers and sisters that are positive.
Okay, and what is it? What's the young lady's name?
Effia.
Effia, Sister Effia.
Yeah.
All right then. Enough respect, you keep it locked.
Okay, and big up all the Saturday schools.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
See ya. Something positive there. Sister Effia, enough respect. Teach the teacher 2 things about Africa. We love you for that. Positive young lady in the community. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio. Have we lost your caller? Yeah, we lost you. If you'd like to try again, 0956 618 720. Big up, Sister Effia. 14-year-old, gone into school, put the teacher correct when it comes to Africa. Positive black sister out there in the community. See, you're making a change. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes,
Lee from Lucian.
What would you like to say to London?
Yeah, regarding what that lady was, the caller previously was talking, read the poem. Yeah, well, big up to that sister still. What I want to say, as many of our callers are saying, is, you see, our problem is not white people. Our problem is loving ourselves, really.
Loving ourselves.
Loving ourselves, respecting ourselves, doing for ourselves. All these things that we say, it's really down to us. If we're going to make something in this society, it's all about us uniting as one, as people, loving one another. So the message is not them against us, it's us against us.
Us against us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Us for us. Yeah, it's not them against us. I mean, it's like anywhere you go, even families, you have brothers and sisters who don't get on and they split and they go apart. So what we're saying, as a family, as black people, as a family, that is really where our strength lies.
But at the same time, Bridget, is it us that's putting us in jail? Is it us that's putting us in mental institutions?
Yeah, but it's us that can build for our own self, laws and doctors and judges and doctors and businesses and societies. It's us, isn't it? If I used to hear a lot of black people say, "Why I wouldn't join the police? Them or this, them or that, them or this." I wouldn't do this, them or this, and that. But then, all right, who's the doctors? Who's the police? Who's the judge? Who's the lawyers? Who are they? If we are not prepared to take that step and force ourselves to be in the police, the judicial system, in every aspect of society, if we're backwards to put ourselves in that position, then we're going to leave the judgment to someone else, aren't we?
That's the truth.
So
in that respect, we're doing it to ourselves.
Well, exactly. It's like saying to us, "Oh, I don't vote. Vote for this guy, or vote for that guy, or vote for this party. We're going to vote for no party." Well, at the end of the day, if we're not going to do that, then we'll just have to accept what they dish out, isn't it?
Well, you see now, dear, when you say that, you're talking about me direct because I don't vote. But
then you're just going to be prepared to accept what they offer, isn't it? I mean,
I don't vote.
What is your alternative in not voting?
Hold on, but I'll tell you why I don't vote. I don't vote because I believe that all of them are the same. So it doesn't really make no difference who I vote for because they've got a set agenda, set policies for us.
But I'll keep hearing that, and I'll reject that. Anyway, my argument is, life is just one moment, let me just say this. Life is a game of chess, yeah? And you move your pieces to your advantage. So maybe I vote for a guy because I don't particularly like everything he does, but he moves me into a better position from that position, I take another position, and so forth, until I become the king or the queen. I destroy all the pawns and all the altars and all the knights. So saying to me that I don't vote, well, I'm not. What am I going to do? Just sit around here and saying, well, I'm not going to vote, and I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to involve myself in the police. I'm not going to go in the army. I'm not going to go in the Air Force. I'm not going to do this. But at the end of the day, then people are taking liberties.
Well, at the same time, you're putting it that way, but I'll put it another way to you. How am I going to partake in something that's killing my people? How am I going to legally vote for Tony Blair? Hold on. How am I going to legally give Tony Blair my vote to give police more strength to go out on the street and arrest my children?
Right then, what's your alternative then?
My alternative is to do it myself.
Well, then that's what I'm saying, isn't it?
But not within their system. Not within their system. The alternative is Genesis Radio.
You haven't shown me. You're saying your system, but you haven't showed me a system that is even half working at the moment.
Okay, well then, my brethren, you're not looking, because Genesis Radio is illegal, and we're here, and this is our system, and we're doing it.
Fine. I accept that. All right, then let's go as far as to say that that's a system. But what I'm saying is, at the same time, that if you do not, if you don't read the book, you won't know what the contents is. And that's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say to people, don't vote for Tony Blair or this, that, and that. But I'm saying if the people themselves have no system to which we can all, go behind, then, we're always going to be fragmented, and, we're going to, Genesis Radio is yes, we need Genesis, and we need more conscious movements in our community to help us. But what I'm saying to you is that at the same time, we talk about our people in mental institute, and even, unfortunately, I went to prison some long time ago, and then very long time ago, when you look around, there were very few black prison officers.
Yeah.
Right? And we were at the mercy of, so therefore that would make we at the mercy of not only the inmates, which are motivated by the white officers, yeah? So we've got two forces to fight against. We've got not only the inmates, but we've got also the officers.
Yeah.
But, I mean, in recent time now, when we know that more black people are going into that thing, which is needed, then at least injustice can be seen. Now, if black people want to see injustice and turn their eyes away from it, then that's up to the individual.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is there's no black officers or no black people in the mental institute to see and witness what's going on to our people, then it's just going to go on in it. And they're going to, like the Stephen Lawrence situation here,
I hear that, Bridget, but don't you think we've passed the stage where we need to witness? We know what's going on. We need to stop it happening. And we're not going to stop it from happening from within. There's no policeman, I've never heard of a black policeman in England that's got up and has stopped the murders or stopped the false arrests or none of them things, Bridget. You understand? Look at these black politicians. We've got all of these black politicians who tell us, black vote for the system, vote for us, we're going to make a change. Not one of them would stand up tomorrow and say, Genesis Radio is positive for the black community and is something that's needed. Yet, all of us, including yourself, know that that's the case.
Yeah, fine. All right, okay. I'm not going to argue about that, because the point is, I accept what you're saying there, but at the same time, perspective to what you've just said, in my words, is that Genesis is an illegal radio station.
Yes.
Equal is a part of it. That's the wrong word.
Sorry, you're breaking up. Repeat that, Bridget. You broke up a bit.
Pirate station. Oh? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm still here. Repeat that, Bridget, because we
Genesis is a pirate station, so some people don't want to associate themselves with it. That's up to them. But the point I'm making is, if we as black people are not prepared to, say, for instance, be solicitors, then we can't necessarily defend our people when we go to when they find themselves in that position. We're more like, as I said to you, recently I've been in some problems, and who defended me? My own black solicitor, looking out for my interests, and I was satisfied, very happy with the result. Now, if it had gone wrong because I've used a white solicitor, I could have easily turn around and say, well, there you are, it's because I use a white solicitor.
Yes.
Well, I'm saying if there's enough black solicitors, then I would use black solicitors. If there's enough, I mean, 1 and 2 little black policemen in the system, they're being crushed. But, you know, just like everything, all right, let me take you back to one thing. Muhammad Ali, everybody see the program last night regarding Muhammad Ali and his history of Muhammad Ali. Now, that is one black man that took on the whole system, take on the American courts, take on everybody. Now, you see, that's the fight that we as individuals, as a collective of black people, we don't have. We have the individual talk, but we don't have the collective fight. He's a man who fought from the top to the bottom, yeah? And so, you know, in adversity, we don't turn around and go, oh, well, it's their fault, you know. We have to get up and fight, you know, and create our own businesses, our own lawyers, our own... You understand me? And that is the way that we'll be free. I don't believe that, you know, it's going to do us any good for sitting down and saying, yeah, well, it's the white man's fault. Yeah, well, it's always going to be someone's fault. But what we have to do is to look within ourselves and say to ourselves, right, okay, some things happen because we are unaware of them, yeah? Again, we are unaware of them, and some things happen to us because we do nothing about them.
We allow it to happen. Mm-hmm.
Right. So we have to look at the things that we are not doing, which we can do to make things better for ourselves. And that's what I say. So, you know, I tend to say that hatred and bigotry, just like the white man. If I'm not teaching my children to say to hate white people, what I'm saying to them is to love themselves. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And once they do that, then they'll feel they'll be as equal. Because this world is about everybody. Now, nobody's going to wipe anybody out from this planet. Yeah, India's got nuclear, so everybody's... So, as Africa, we say we need... Some say we need it, some say we don't. But what we do need in Africa is to start feeding our people and to start loving ourselves as black people. The brother who come on and says that African people don't have no love, I think he was trying to make a point. He didn't get a chance to make it. I don't think that word was probably just meant in that sense. I think he was trying to make a deep point.
Well, he spoke for quite long, actually.
Yeah, but when you ask him to explain what I mean, I think he made... Because to me, it seems like he would have to go into something deep, and it's a lot of time. But
for real.
To say that we don't deal with love, well, we're only human beings. We're man. We of course we deal with love. We are the one who are founders of love. But I don't believe the word love is what I'm saying. Love, we use the word in different way. I love you, baby. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, what kind of love was he talking about?
Yeah,
you know?
in what terminology?
In what terminology? You know, I said I love my girl. I said I love that pair of trainers. You know, or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah.
You love something. Well, what is love? You understand me? And maybe that's what he's saying. We don't deal with that kind of cheap love in that sense. Yeah, well, I love that thing, or I love that girl, or whatever. We may have come to adapt that principle in understanding, and then we're losing the real sense of love.
But it did come about. It did, if I remember correctly, it was off of the back of speaking of the African love, the family love towards each other. You know, rather than a love between a man and a woman, or you know, towards an object. Was actually talking about that love that extends all barriers because we're all of the same. You know that.
Yeah, that's right. But as I said, I believe, you know, in my what he refers to is something probably deeper than that. That's called love, because love in itself can be such a confusing word, and we use it so often, and we get confused to what degree of love we're talking about.
Okay.
That's the only point I'm making. I'm saying that, you know, everybody says love, and now it's a word that's bonded between everything. It's from loving to loving your family, loving your brother and sister, to whatever. Yeah, it's just a word that's just thrown around. It's cheap. It's just throw it out, you know. When you want a response, you know, you say to someone, "Oh, I love your coat," because you really wanted to say, "Well, boy, you know, you really think it's nice."
Yeah.
It's something we use to get someone else to respond to what. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that is my point, and you know,
Okay, Bridget, you big up for that, right? And thanks for phoning Genesis Radio.
Thank you.
You keep it locked.
Bye-bye.
0956618 gets you through to the big Genesis 91.6 People's Talk Show. Some lively discussion today going on, and we're going to take this call. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Good afternoon. My name is Mutumba Ekwa.
Yes, sister. Makumbe Kwa.
Mutumba Ekwa.
Matumbe.
Mutumba. Yes.
Okay, Sister Matumba, what would you like to say to London?
You said something earlier about Ethiopia.
Uh-huh.
I just want to say, I think it's very good that they're now having their own produce and actually exporting it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to say is, why do they have to export to America and England, and sorry, not England, but European countries, when in Africa there are actually many countries who would actually need that? Why don't they export to other African countries?
Well, I think at the moment, because they're in the very young stages, these crops, some of these crops are what they call cash crops.
Yeah.
So they have to export them and get the best money that they can for their crops. And in that manner, then they can start producing, invest more, produce more food, and then perhaps help, with the problem internally within the country. But I think at the moment, it's because they need to try and raise more money to develop the program on a much larger scale. So that means that they're going to have to sell their crops to whoever's going to pay them the most money.
Yeah, well, but I'm sure that, the other African countries who are unable to produce, like, wheat. You mentioned wheat?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm sure, they would be able to, because I'm from Zambia,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And Zambia imports from Canada.
Okay.
And I'm sure that Zambia pays a lot of money for the wheat from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
They could use that same money to import from Ethiopia.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They could export to Zambia.
Okay, now, all right. Now, let's look at it from another point of view. I export to America, and in return, I want, let's say, 12 combine harvesters, or I want 1,000 tons of a particular, fertilizer or whatever. Do you understand what I'm saying, Sis?
Yeah.
A lot of these kind of things where internally, because you know what they've done to Africa, so internally, there's not many countries in Africa that's building tractors and this type of thing, by us, controlled by us. So obviously, these people need the equipment to do what they're doing, and they're going to need to go to the people that's manufacturing that particular equipment. And because these countries know that, because the Europe and America know that, it gives them an advantage point.
Yeah, that's the problem, because the European countries and America, they come in these African countries.
That's right.
Instead of encouraging them to help each other, they would actually come in between these countries and, they take whatever they can from Africa, and they would always come and offer a higher price so that the other African countries won't be able to get from their
neighbors. That's right.
You see?
Now, sorry, you said you're from where, sis?
I'm from Zambia.
And what's the situation in Zambia?
Well, I'd say before South Africa got independence, we used to import from, say, America and Europe and other, the Far East. But because now South Africa is independent, most of our imports come from South Africa.
Really?
Which has worked out to be cheaper.
It's cheaper?
Because, the last time I was there, most of the things that were on the market that Zambia cannot produce were actually from South Africa.
Okay. So
and
there's
I think that's really good.
So there's a lot of trade links going on between Zambia.
Yes.
So because when I was out there, where the falls is, what they call the Victoria Falls?
Yes, it's on the Zambia-Zimbabwe border.
Yeah. Now, when I was out there, that falls was supplying electricity to Zambia, South Africa, and parts of Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Is that still the case? Is the trade still building up on those large scales?
Yes. you know, the electricity is generated from the Kariba Dam,
That's
which
right.
is on the Victoria Falls,
Uh-huh.
and it's between Zambia and Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, mhm.
I remember at one time they had a problem where, like, they had a disagreement, like who owns
Yes,
who
right.
owns the Kariba Dam.
That's
That was
right.
Zambia and Zimbabwe,
Mhm.
but that was cleared up, and they get like a certain percentage, and then they export the electricity
That's
to
right.
to other countries like South Africa,
Yes.
Namibia,
Yeah, Botswana.
Botswana,
Mhm.
you know.
Okay.
And not only that, like in Zambia, we produce sugar, and we export that to most of the countries in the southern region.
Mhm. Really?
Yes.
You see,
but-
most people in England wouldn't know that. We don't know these kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, like now, because of the political changes in the country, most of the things have actually changed.
Mhm.
You see?
Okay.
The stuff that we used to export, and we don't export them no more. There's some stuff that we used to import, and we don't import them
No more.
no more.
Mhm. So is Zambia actually? What does Zambia produce for itself apart from the sugar then?
We produce maize meal,
Mhm.
but because of the climatic conditions, like for the last, I'd say in the last 5 years, it's been really dry. And at one time, we were actually importing maize meal from America,
Okay.
and it was really expensive.
Mhm. Mhm.
See?
But now you're back exporting it again.
Well, we're not exporting as much because we really need it. I mean, we're not producing enough to export. We
Okay.
do export, but we're not producing as much as we used to before.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you something else.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're a Genesis radio listener, and
Yes.
you've heard some of the views of some of our what we call, for want of a better phrase, West Indian brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Now, there's a lot of people out there that have got a negative attitude towards Africa because of what they're seeing on television and what they're hearing, and in some cases, personal experiences as well.
Yes.
People like myself that want to go back home because there's a large community here, a large percentage of us that strongly believe and know that Africa is home and we want to go back home. What would you say now to those people there?
Oh, well, I think it's just determination. I mean, anyone can go back to Africa and make that home. I mean, I'm talking about black people.
Mhm.
You know, they can actually go back to Africa and make that home. But I think it would have to be done in such a way that, you know, like the government, the African governments actually welcome these people
Okay.
to Africa,
Mhm.
you know, and because you can't, I know it would be difficult for a Caribbean person to just go into one of, unless they're going there like to look for employment,
Yes.
but like to settle down with their family and all that.
Mhm.
I think it would be nice to see one of the African governments to say, you know, you're welcome. There's this much land available for you people, and you know, you can invest in this country. And I think that would be really good. And Africa is a very nice place to be.
For real.
You know,
Mhm.
I mean, I know when they see Africa on TV, they always show those little madhouses, and you know, that really scares people to say, I can't live in a place like that.
Yeah.
You know,
War
but
and famine, that's all they show.
yes, famine, war, and all that. I mean, it's not as bad as they portray it, and you just have to go there to see for yourself. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big up for that, sis.
Thank you.
All right, and you take care.
Yep.
You keep it locked to Genesis, all right?
Yes.
One
Thank
love.
you. Bye.
See ya. Okay, there you all are hearing it again. Live and direct. This is what Genesis Radio is all about. Our community is out there, and you know, anything that you think we should know, phone in and let us know. It's your time, it's your air time. We have to fight hard to get it. So, you know, let's not abuse it by not using it. Let's just, you know, use it to the max. Big up, sis. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Yeah, it's just Sandra again.
Yes, yes.
Just want to go back to the point about this government
Mhm.
thing. I don't know whether people are aware, but at the end of every month on a Saturday, they have a meeting at 365 Brixton Road. And that's just off of Grisham Road. It's just opposite the police station.
Yeah, that big
And
building there with a ramp.
That's right. And they're trying to form a black government. So if anybody's interested, last month they start from, I think it's 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock. So if anybody's got any views,
Okay.
that's the only way we're going to go forward.
So that's the next one is when?
It's the end of, which will be next month now. The
End of
the
June.
month.
End of
Yeah,
June.
the end of June. Last Saturday in.
The last Saturday in June.
Yeah, in every month.
Down at
At 365 Brixton Road.
365 Brixton Road.
Yeah.
Okay. For anyone that wants to go down there, that's the big building.
On the corner.
Yeah, you pass the Kentucky in
That's
Brixton,
right.
and it's there. You'll see it there on the left.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Big up, sis.
Okay then.
Okay.
Peace.
So you hear that we've got a set of our brothers and sisters down there trying to form and work out a black government for us. You know what I mean? Self-help. We need self-help. Don't rely on no one else. And I've got to say to my sister from Zambia, one love. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio. Your name, please.
My name is Amaju.
Yes, my brother. What would you like to say?
I heard you don't vote.
Yeah, can you turn down your radio a sec?
Yes, you don't vote.
No, I don't vote. I've never voted.
Now that's really, really bad. That's unforgivable.
Why, my brother?
Now, if you don't vote,
Yes.
you don't count.
To who?
Now that's one.
I don't count to who?
You don't count in any decision-making process. You don't make a difference.
Well, I'm here now making a difference, so
Well,
obviously that's blown out the window.
I mean, in the formal decision-making process of wherever you live.
This is the formal decision-making process of my community.
Well, your tax, the reactions of the police, welfare, etc., etc. But let's put that aside.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't vote, it's like you have, say, 2, 3, or 4 bad friends.
2, 3,
Yep.
or 4 bad friends.
Yeah, I'm giving an example.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yes?
Well, what do you mean?
If you have 2, 3, or 4 bad friends, surely they will not be equally bad. Instead of allowing somebody to choose one for you, you will minimize your damage or loss by choosing.
Yes.
And you will take the less bad of the 2, 3, or 4.
Yes. I
But if you
understand.
don't make any effort, you may end up with the worst of them.
Okay.
So they may all be bad, but you minimize your loss by exercising your right to make a choice.
So tell me something. Do you honestly believe that your vote makes a difference to the agenda of the government in this country?
I do. As a matter of fact, I would say that the choice for people of African descent is not whether, they don't have a choice as to whether or not to vote. Yeah? Their choice in which party to vote for.
Who to
I
vote
don't
for?
mind if you vote for National Front, you vote for Labour Party, Conservatives, Liberal Democrats, the Greens. The important thing is, when we count the numbers, make a difference so that next time, when the numbers change, we ask questions. Why has Liberal Democrat gone up and the Greens gone down? Why has the Conservatives gone up, the Labour Party gone down?
Okay.
You see, then those questions would direct decision makers to addressing the whys that has been responsible for that change.
Well, I hear that, but I'm going to say now, I am disillusioned that black people honestly believe here in England in 1998 that their vote makes a difference. Now this is the reason why I'm going to explain why I say what I say. I remember we done a show here before the elections, and many people were saying, oh, come on, let's get the Conservatives out. You know, Labour's always been for us. They're going to give us a chance, at least whilst, you know, they got that period of change. It gives us the opportunity to create new investment or whatever, okay? And you know, a lot of people got on the radio and said, boy, Commissioner, you're having a laugh if you're saying don't vote and really. Anyway, we've had Labour in now, what, not almost a year?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, we've got to pay for education out of our pocket. You know, the police are getting more powers. They're building more prisons. You know, and things have got worse, not better, for us.
That may be true, but what I'm saying is, you cannot say that there is no significant difference, or there is no difference between the Conservative and the Labour.
Well,
There's
what's
no
the
difference between the Labour and between the Labour Party and the Liberal Party. There is a difference.
Do you know that? Do you know that the leaders of our three major parties? Do you know that they're all members of one organisation? Do you know that, my brother?
Of one organisation?
Yeah.
Which organisation?
You see now, if you see now on Genesis Radio again, maybe 8-9 months ago, we was playing tapes, information tapes. That even before Tony Blair was elected, we was playing tapes that was telling you that it was a guaranteed that Tony Blair was going to be the next Prime Minister of Great Britain. You know,
but even then, single-handedly, these leaders don't make decisions. They still have to dance to the tune of public opinion within reasonable limits. And you talk of what the MPs in Parliament, black MPs, African MPs in Parliament, what they do and they don't do. Now, I know this lady,
Diane.
Yes, she has, and what do you call this man of Tottenham?
Bernie Grant.
Yes. Well, they have been very, very instrumental in raising issues, in driving some, or bringing to the fore the interest of people of African descent. I use that globally.
Okay.
Yeah?
I hear that.
Now, if they were
That's your
there,
opinion. That's your opinion.
If they weren't there,
yes,
then those things may not have been given the exposure which they received.
Well, you see, this is where we disagree. Because I'm going to say again, this is now speaking of England, right? You had a set of people from I don't know, 40s, 50s, the Rasta community, and many others that didn't really associate with that community. And these are people that was on the street, okay? That was talking about Africa, singing about apartheid, doing everything and bringing this to the people's attention. This is just ordinary, everyday people on the street, right? Now, the Bernie Grants, the Diane Abbotts, and the, right? These people, now, there's no way on this earth that these people are going to stand up, or we're going to allow them to stand up and make it out like, oh, it's through them, and because of the position that they're in, that certain things are being done on a world, international level. That's not the case. That's a fallacy.
I'm not saying, when I used you, but my emphasis was that I'm using Africa. When I speak of people of African descent, I'm using that in the global context.
Yes, I understand that.
Okay, not the activities or actions of
the individuals,
parliamentarians. You see, but these people, Britain is a country that is highly racist.
Yes.
Yeah? And there is a lot of this prejudice still around, and so these people have to work within these constraints. Yeah, so you don't vote them in and expect 2 or 3 people to change the system overnight.
Yeah, but time. you see now. Okay, I understand that. But you see now, this is my opinion. Like you heard the sister just before you phoned from Zambia and said, okay, how comes no African government has to date, right, stood up and said, like, right, you people, like you heard the brother say as well, we know, say, what you all went through, okay? We have to take some of the blame. We're going to now make the opportunity possible for whoever wants to come home to come home. We will give you land, or we'll give you this, or we'll help you, or whatever. But true, we know the traumatic experience that you all went through, and you're still us, you're still family, you're still our children. Then how comes this hasn't been done yet? Because then people like me that don't want to vote for any of these people here will have the opportunity to go home and to vote at home for who I think is going to do the best for the country.
Yes. I'm not sure if I should be, I'm not sure if, when you speak of Africa and speak in terms of voting, etc., 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 you speak in terms of in terms of nations. I don't know if you are talking of mere geographical boundaries, or you talk of nations that are really representing the interests of the indigenous people.
In terms of what, us going home, or in terms of us getting some help from the governments?
Well, which government?
Well, the African governments. You know, there's a OAU, isn't it? There's an Organization of African Unity. That has representatives from every government in Africa. Okay. Well, you know, I don't need to tell you what happened with us. You know it. You know it as well as I do.
Now,
how comes none of them? How comes the OAU hasn't said to us out here in the West and in America and all them places that went through these things? How comes the OAU hasn't said to us, look, brothers and sisters, this is what we know what happened, traumatic experience. We're giving you all the opportunity, right, to come home.
Well, can I tell you this?
Yes.
I didn't know what happened to you in the Caribbean until I came to the UK.
For real? But you know now?
Yeah?
Yes.
Now, you see, if I hadn't come here and I became a president, I can't understand what you're moaning about. Or I wouldn't have been able to understand.
So you're going to tell me, right, that all of the different presidents of the governments of Africa do not know about slavery and do not know what we out here went through? Are you going to honestly tell me that?
Now, listen, I'm telling you that until I came here, I didn't even know how a Jamaican looked like. Now, that is not my fault. It's not your fault.
No.
It's the fault of the education system and the type of education given me.
Okay.
Okay? Now, apart from that, I also heard you say some Africans also sold us.
Yeah.
Yeah?
For real.
Now, I don't know. Now, I'm still looking for a book written by, quote-unquote, Africans that ended up abroad as slaves. I'm looking for anyone who wrote a book and said, you know, we were sold by our...
Any evidence? I'll tell you what to do.
No, I wrote a book and said, look, I was sold by my brothers and I was sold by my sisters, etc., etc.
Okay, I'll tell you what to do, right? The BBC have got a shop out on, I think it's either Tottenham Court or Edgware Road or Marylebone Road, but they got a shop there. They showed a documentary about a month and a half ago of ancestors of people in, I think it was Ghana, that their parents or their ancestors was actually participating in the selling of slaves to the white man. They showed it on the television. The people them spoke from Africa and apologized. And you know.
No. I saw that program.
Okay.
I saw that program, but there is more. Who are these Africans? An African going from A to B, going to the farm, or an African captured while he was fighting, defending the territorial integrity of his country,
yes,
is not necessarily a slave. And if you have a war captive and you do anything to him...
For real? Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. But brethren, it was women and children. It wasn't just men. It was women and children. So it wasn't like it was just, you know, the captives from war. It was women and children that was exported as well.
Yes. Just as wherever there's been war, women and children have been affected. Many of these are war prisoners. Yeah. And when they ended up here, the Africans did not bring them here to be treated the way they were treated.
That's right.
Remember, a lot of Europeans ended up in Australia.
That's right.
If you were controlling Europe the way the white Australians are controlling Australia, New Zealand, and Canada, you won't be saying this you are saying.
Now, well, you see, the way how the Australians are doing it, they couldn't do it here because we have more, I don't know, I don't even want to, you know, ostracize or put down the Aborigine people of Australia, but we here, having that fire in our blood, that African fire, would not allow these things to happen. You understand?
No, I'm saying, yeah, you are so hot about this, and remember, your ancestors could also have been my great granduncle.
That's right. I was going to say, I was going to pull you up and say my ancestors are your ancestors.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So, and we are very sensitive to relations. In the 60s, it used to be said in Britain that all Africans are brothers. Because we don't have cousin, uncle, whatever. Just have, once you are blood related, you are a brother.
Yes.
Yeah? But with time and we imbibing Western lifestyle, this is now being watered down.
Okay.
And then we are talking of cousins, nieces, etc., 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 and the closeness is therefore watered down.
Okay.
Yeah? So when you talk of your ancestors, you're talking of my ancestors, you're talking of my uncles, my aunts, etc., etc., and I feel the same pain.
Yes.
Yeah?
That's the
But the
truth.
important issue there is not whether or not you ended here. I think the issue is one of the opportunities here and the treatment meted out to you here. You could have ended up in the Queen's Palace enjoying yourself, and I come here and excuse me, you tell me that you see, you threw me from Africa. Now take this crumb.
Yeah.
You see it? But unfortunately, the reverse. But those Europeans that ended up in Australia as convicts. Remember, your ancestors that came here were not convicts. Yeah.
Yeah,
I read the Fatal Shore, and I heard of their middle passage and what they went through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you talk of your circumstance vis-a-vis African selling whatever, I challenge you this: no African country,
Yes.
I mean African and indigenous country,
My brother, where do you
was
come from?
built out of the sweat of forced labor. None. I challenge you that. Check your history.
So then how comes Ghana, okay? Anyone that goes to Ghana has got a cave that you must, anyone can go and visit. That's where the slaves used to be held when they was being sold onto the ships that was crossing over
You're talking of the Elmina Castle.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
But listen to what I said. I said, no African empire was built on the sweat or the pain of forced labor, from Ghana to Mali to Songhai to Kanem Borno to Ashanti to Benin to Oyo, none.
So
That's
what
your
about...
history. That's a challenge.
I hear that. I'm challenging you as you lay down a challenge. What about now Shaka Zulu, who, when him and his warriors went and took enough land from different tribes all over Africa and enslaved the people and built up the wealth now of what is called present-day South Africa off of the backs of all of these other tribes, the Indabeli and etc., etc.
Yes, I'm being pressed for time now. I note what you've said.
Yes.
Yeah, but again, maybe we'll have to look into what are our understanding of slavery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, in Africa, your employment here, strictly speaking, there is no employee in Africa pre-colonial.
Okay.
That concept, to be an employee, to give your services out to people in return for monetary or material compensation, is to be a slave.
Yes,
so
right.
if I was talking strictly in terms of African culture, then all those who control the stock exchange, etc., they are nothing but slaves, because they should be working for themselves.
I hear that.
See? So, again, that's why I said, and again, if you owe money and you couldn't pay, and then you gave service in lieu, you are a slave in African context, but you are a debtor here.
Yes.
Yeah? The Europeans have their own understanding and conception of slavery, and I'm using an English word to describe an African cultural relationship.
Well, you see again, you see my brother again, right? I'd say to you no, because you see here in England, right? We're not in debt. We're slaves to the system, and I think enough of us don't know
I'm giving
that.
you an example. I'm not saying you are. I'm saying
no, we are. I'm telling you that we are. We are slaves to this system. We work, we work and we earn just enough money to put food on our table, to pay our bills, to keep our electricity on, to keep our water coming through, to keep our gas on, and we have to do that. If we don't do that, then we're out on the ear. We're homeless. We ain't got nothing. So we are slaves to this system.
No, what I'm saying, in this system, you are being employed. You are an employee. If you view the relationship from a European perspective, if you view it from an African cultural perspective, you are a slave.
No, if you deal with it from a European perspective, you're a slave. And I'm going to tell you why. There's a time coming out of slavery, especially in America, when the just after slavery was so-called abolished, right? The people then got their land, the Africans got their land in America and tried to till their own land and produce for themselves. The white farmers were still in control. Do you know what the white farmers done?
No.
They let the people work the land, and then at the end of the day, they paid them, but the shop that the people had to go to get the provisions that they needed, the necessities, was owned by the farmer. So a lot of them, instead of getting money, they took their pay was given to them out of the shop stock. Okay?
Yep.
Now, all they've done today, 1998, is introduce money as the middleman. So instead of us having to go to them and just getting our food, which if you sign on the dole in America again, if you're on the state welfare, you get food stamps. You don't get no money, and you go to the shop with those food stamps and you get your food. That's the same thing they was doing some 200-300 years ago when we had just come out, 400 years ago, just come out of slavery. They're still doing it today.
Okay, can I say this?
Yeah.
Because why we went this far, I was trying to say before, we keep hearing of, there's this suspicion, antagonism between Africans from the Caribbean and Africans from Africa. There's always this accusing fingers being pointed both ways.
Okay.
Now, I know what I was taught while I was in school in Africa, the history books I read. As a matter of fact, I ought to feel that Africans in the Caribbean were those we don't need.
Yes.
Yeah, so we sold them out. But then you in the Caribbean will learn that we were so greedy, we were selling you out for a piece of metal.
Yeah, and
I didn't like that. Your ancestors didn't like that. But when you see me as a greedy man who will sell anything for metals. Yeah, and when I see you, I feel a premature sense of superiority and importance. But I wasn't responsible for that. You weren't responsible for that.
For real.
So,
but again, okay, you're arguing that, and that's a compassionate argument from the point of view that we are both black men, all right?
Yes.
Now, let me show you where this argument is shattered, in that the white man, all right, today says the same thing. He says, boy, look at me. You know what I mean? It wasn't me. It was my ancestors, see? I'm not to blame for it. I love you. You're my black brother, okay? But in the same hand, the white man is still benefiting from all of the acts that his parents and his grandparents and his great-grandparents committed. See?
Yes.
Now, in Africa, in the continent, it is the same thing, where people like yourself acknowledge and say, right, these people are not even slaves, they're prisoners of war.
Yep.
Okay? Now, what nation is going to treat their prisoners of war, apart from America, in a manner where they just disregard them totally and have them in a situation where, all right, they wasn't responsible for it, they didn't know the white man would treat them like that, but since then, they know now, and still not one of them has stretched out their hand and said, okay, any brothers and sisters, any prisoners of war that want to come home, this is the opportunity, come home. How come it hasn't been done?
Okay, you see, I'm on phone, talking to you.
Yeah.
I can address what you raised.
Okay.
And to your satisfaction, what I'm trying to tell you is let us move away from pointing fingers.
Okay.
Because we are not possessed of all the information needed to really accuse or establish who was at fault. So
we've gone beyond that. But we've gone beyond that, my brethren. I don't even want for us to put blame to anyone, because the event has happened. But the point that I'm trying to raise is the same that the sister from Zambia raised. Why hasn't an African nation stretched forth their hand now in 98 and say, okay, this is what happened to you all. We're not taking blame for it. We just want you all, we're giving you this opportunity because we are one. We're one family. If you want to come home, look, we're offering you this, come home.
You know what? You asked me why.
Yes.
Now, I'm not sure I can find a book where I can find the answers to that, so maybe you should be doing some work.
Maybe I should.
The more you ask why and how, the more you learn.
Yes.
If you ask me why, I'm not going to go to one book and bring the answer.
No.
I'm going to try and reason it out. So maybe you should do some. But if I give you my own understanding or reasons for it, I'm sure you will find it interesting.
Well, then give me yours. Give me yours.
Well, listen, don't forget that there are many Africans here who end up in difficulty.
For real?
Now listen, they may be improperly, they may be unfairly arrested, unfairly treated in the courts, thrown in jail. The African is so-called African countries will not come out to say anything.
That's right.
So if they can't do it for people who hold their piece of paper, which they call a document, which they call passport, if they can't do it for their own citizens, quote unquote. So
then why should they do it for us?
Exactly.
Well,
So
I'll tell you why.
There's something very, very wrong somewhere, which is making them so handicapped, so insensitive to the plight of their people. Don't you think so?
That's the truth. That is
exactly.
The truth.
So, if anything were to happen to me as a Nigerian, I think some of you may protest, but I'm not sure a lot will happen from my country.
Yeah, the government's not really going to shout. Well, you see, that's the same problem that we're facing with the West Indies.
It's not because my head of state hates me or whatever. Yeah, some of these things are circumstantial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we need to ask why to find solutions to them. Yeah. So therefore, the issue of saying why haven't they done that to you, when really they can't even do it to me. My own country can't do it. My own country will not serve my interest. And I see a lot of people as refugees or quote-unquote illegal immigrants thrown, treated, even when they take shelter in the churches, they're thrown out and they're deported to their country. Nothing happens.
But my brother, you're talking about a people, right? Okay, I'm not brushing that aside, all right? People that seeking now political asylum and things like that. But you're talking about a people that has been suffering for the best part of 500-600 years. Don't you think that is a priority? That should be a priority to any. If I'm a mother or I'm a father, and I know that my child has been suffering for 500 years, aren't I going to deal with them first, and then come and deal with the others who's been suffering maybe 10 years?
Yes, you should have priority, but if the mother is unable to act at all, you cannot prioritize. Are you with me?
Yes, I understand that.
Yes, the mother first of all has to have the ability or has to have the orientation or the intention to act. But if that is not there at all, then forget about prioritizing.
So how do we get that intention to act from the mother then?
Again, you have asked how. I don't know where I can read that.
No, I don't want you to read it. I want you to tell me as a Nigerian, all right, that knows the ins and outs of how even the African mind thinks, that part that we have lost, okay? You still have that. So I'm asking you, not from no book, not from no text, I'm asking you personally as a man, how do you think we can create this situation where our mother will call us back home with open arms?
I think that should be a subject for another time, with respect.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I can. When I see you privately, we can. I don't have I don't have all the solutions. You will, even by you thinking how.
Yes.
You may come up with something better than me.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You see.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, my brother. Thanks very much for phoning in. All right, and you keep it locked to Genesis Radio.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, you all are hearing it there, People's Talk Show, last part of the show. You know what I mean? We got, who is it, Metro? No. Set it up, coming in, seen. And we had a nice discussion there on, you know, some of the depths of Africa. What do you all think? Have you got anything to add to that? Thank you, my brother, for phoning in and sharing your point of view with us. Good afternoon, caller. You're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Brother, it's Ron again.
Yeah.
I didn't want to phone in, but this brother here, is he afraid that we know our history? Because when he said that he didn't know something about slavery or something.
Yes. He didn't know that how we was treated just after we come out of slavery, and the fact that we had to still get our food from the slave master and work for nothing.
He didn't know?
Well, again, I can honestly believe that, Bridget. Having gone to Africa, there's a lot of even African history that was hidden from the people that they don't know. So I can accept that.
And when you talk about vote, when you say right, what right are you talking about?
Your freedom of choice to vote, you know what I mean, to make change in the country. And again, brethren, we've got a whole heap of black people. Look, there was a drive the other day for the black vote, you know what I mean? And people are saying, yes, you should vote because it makes a difference.
Yeah, I know that program that Brother Pop Cooley was out, isn't it?
That's right. That's right.
I come up, let somebody else come on. Because it's short time now, right?
For real, Bridget.
Yeah.
Boy, but you know...
But what I think this, buddy, I don't want to disrespect him, but when you say he didn't know about slavery, that means he didn't know that other black people in the West Indies.
There's a lot of indigenous Africans, brethren, that do not know what happened in slavery.
You didn't know they run down our ancestors in the bush and pick up the best big black man and export them. You didn't know that. Let me put it straight. You didn't know that.
No, as again, and the brother said, he challenges anyone to come on here and name an African nation that has progressed or has grown or has, you know, just big up itself through slavery. He says he defies anybody to come and name one.
How about it? I see. Let somebody else come because time coming up now.
Okay, you take care, Bridget, all right? Okay, this is the People's Talk Show, last few minutes, 91.6 FM, that live link phone number 0956618720. See? It's a family affair, you know, it's a family affair, it's nothing personal. Good afternoon, you're tuned to Genesis Radio.
Yeah, hello, it's me again. Yeah, hello, Ron. What brother that says still is that educational system in Africa was not really informing the people and say, well, boy, things are going like that. And it's true because, you know, when even if you want what you say about taking us, we sell out each other's stuff, well, that wasn't really true, really. I mean, as far as this was concerned, it was a situation whereby many people even probably have thought, or could have been made that got involved, is that, look, these people were going to go and forward Africa. They were going to make Africa a greater place.
That's right.
If they went to Europe and learn and bring information back to Africa. And, you know, the white man did use those kind of tactics, and it was, in a way, an understanding that many of these people were going to greater things. They were going to become great people and bring back great vision to Africa. And on that basis, some people were who were maybe cheats and people who may have believed or been, you know, these ideas, and they said, well, okay, yeah, all right, fine, you can have so many of our good men. It's like when, let me give you an idea, it's like when we watched a program last night where the Enoch Powell went to the West Indies and said, look, we've just had a war, we're in problems, we need some good skilled people from the West Indies. We're going to pay you this time, we ain't going to really let you work for nothing. So would you mind coming over and help us to build up our country?
That's right.
Yeah? That's right. Now, if we didn't understand that that is the same tactics that was used then, yeah? But when they got us across 40,000 miles away from our people and the security, where they were the majority, they thought, well, shit, excuse my language.
Do with them how we want.
Yeah, we do. Why should we have to pay these people? You know, we can build up our situation. Why should we pay them? Why don't we just let them do this for nothing?
That's right.
And slavery was invented. As we know, slavery is not a new word to the European. They've studied themselves, and they had alternative plans. You understand me? You know, go right back in history, further than they understand. And he said, as the brother said, their concept of slavery and the African concept of slavery may be the same. Yeah? Okay, so that's one of the things.
Okay.
So we're coming back to the situation whereby, as I said, the brother made some good point. It's not about whether the any African country has to turn around and to come back to our country, because they do that. But we will sit there, if we want to go and find information and find which country is suited to us, our needs, what we can do within that country, what skills we can bring to that particular country, you know, whether it's, you know, then we as individuals can do that. But we're looking for some sort of easy boat out. We want to blame somebody.
You think so, Bridget?
Yeah, we do.
See, hold on. Don't you think, right, that Africa should recognize the wealth of resources that they have and make one ultimate big open door policy for everyone with those resources, no matter what they are, to come back home and help develop the country.
Yeah, but I believe such a movement is, you know, we have at the moment, Africa is still a very destabilizing. It's cut up into so many pieces, trying to get every people to agree on how they should go about, you know. I mean, for instance, Europe at the moment is building Europe, yeah? Africa needs to start building Africa, yeah? India and China and all these nations are busy trying to build their country.
Well, you see, Bridge, and the point is, they cannot begin to do it if they do not include us.
Then therefore that's why we have to know. This is all a part of education. Nothing is done in a day. Rome was not done in a day. This is a process. We've come out of 400 years of slavery by the white man. It's all a process. It's up to us to educate ourselves and our children to understand the process of where we're going. But there's so many corruption within even European society at the moment that is corrupted so many of our black people that, you know, we ourselves have got a lot of learning and understanding how we can deal with that corruption, yet deal with something else that is true to our own, you know, to our own security as a race of people. So, you know, it's not about, well, which African country is going to open policy. At the moment, I would imagine that if African, there's one thing I find is that if African can put one single bank or banks in London that basically start to do with economic trade between Africa and the West Indies, the people, the indigenous people, you know, then that will be the start of something. But, you know, many people, like Africa as we are, we want to say a lot of things, but we're so pressed in the international media that we never get what we really want to say and do. We never get heard. That's why we're lacking in education, isn't it? That's why we don't know everything that we should know. You know, because the international media, or the media that a lot of us rely on, is giving us rubbish. EastEnders. For real. And we're blocking ourselves from getting the real information that is going to really be, you know, to our benefit.
To our advantage. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, then, that's why I say it's understandable, you know, and all kind of, and for want of a better phrase, I'm going to say it, but all West Indians, if you hear an indigenous African saying they don't know about slavery, don't take it like they're having a joke, you know. They was truly not told, not educated. They wasn't informed about nothing that happened to us. It's only since they come into Europe and come and talk to us and mingle with us and go through the experience themselves that they understand.
Yeah, correct. Exactly. Correct. And this process continues today. It goes on today. Information. Or, you know, we are the world's less people in control of information.
Information technology, that's right.
Right? We say we walk around with mobile phones, but that's not information, is it? Information is my brother in Africa, you know, being educated to understand. You know, there's a place called Jamaica, and that, and and England, and what goes on.
And us being educated about Africa as well.
Correct. Now, when we're all educated in the West Indies as West Indians, what did they tell us? What did they educate us? They told us about Christopher Columbus. They told us a lot of things. Now, we are totally confused with all these things. You know, how on earth we're going to, you know, start 1 minute jumping up and saying, well, you know, okay, fine, you know, Africa, back in Africa, don't know that there's slavery, because, you know, even today, even at this very moment, there are people in Africa that believe, and in the West Indies, not so much now in the West Indies, but believe, there's some gold on the pavement in, you know, Europe.
For real.
You know, and to some degree there are some gold on the pavement, but we don't, you know, we're not so much the people that are able to find that gold.
Picking up the gold, that's right.
Right, so picking up that gold.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah?
Okay, my bridge.
So, that's it.
Big up for that. And I know the whole of London urge you there, see? Whoa, we just hung up. Nice one. Thanks for phoning, my brethren, and you keep it locked to the Genesis 91.6 FM. Good afternoon, caller. You're in tune to Genesis. Can you turn your radio down, please?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Have you turned it down?
Yeah, man, it's right down.
Okay, my brethren, what would you like to say to London?
Well, respectfully for the argument you touched the brother with about the OAU.
Okay.
And you say certain things still which not to rephrase about no African leaders stretch out their hand to well from abroad in because Shashamaniland was given to us by the Emperor.
Yeah, I specifically said in 98.
Saying. But this argument I really found to talk to you about because I've actually been to Ghana myself and experienced certain things, you know? Where, for instance, I've been to Ghana and at the airport one night as a black man who been through slavery and recognized myself as an African.
Yes.
I mean, the night when I've been there, I never know that I was supposed to have a visa.
Okay.
And they wouldn't let me in without a visa. So if me as an African man there in England, I'm fed up and feel I'm having enough and want to go home and pick up myself and go to Africa without a visa, then I'll turn me back again.
That's right, and as you say that, I've got brethren personally I've got a brethren that went to Africa some 15 years ago, and he wanted to just settle down and live and help build a country, and he's had to move from country to country because they won't give him the visa permission to stay.
Same. So that means they don't accept us then.
That's right.
That's part of themselves.
That's right, because there's even men out there that have to go on the run. True, they can't get permission to stay in the country.
Right, and right now you have African who can go to Jamaica without these papers.
Well, you see, this is the things that we need to raise, Bridget, with the governments and the respective leaders of the African countries and tell them, well, look, you know, sort of something out, because the white man can go Africa tomorrow and don't even mention visa to him. And he can stay
to Jamaica, any part of the Western days.
That's right.
You know, they can go with them birth certificate and buy land.
For real. You know? Yeah, and get land quicker than us.
Yeah, and our movement is limited. I've also recognized something about the people in Africa that people say they don't recognize slavery. They don't recognize it through knowledge, but through spirit they do, because I've been to Africa with father and Ghana, and a lot of the people in Ghana are actually afraid for the sea.
For real?
Because them said the sea take them away, and when I really stand up and feel it now, you see the slave dungeon itself? When they go to the dungeon, there's no chance of escaping or getting out of the dungeon.
Yes.
So that means the sea take them away, so that's why they fled to the sea. So they might talk about all the people who was taken away on the ship. So they do have the feeling of it, and when they talk to me about it, I can feel it.
You're correct, because again, for myself, personal experience, you know, when we talk about like on the ground level, the community, you know, mixing up the community that I met in Africa, and this is all over Africa, from Botswana, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Ethiopia, all of them said, brethren, when you go back to England, tell our people to come home.
Yeah.
You know, but the governments are not reflecting this.
No. You know, and people like Marcus Garvey had left Jamaica and set up work in Ghana still.
For real.
You know, because even Ghana, you know, the Volta Mountain, they have a place in there them called Jamaica.
Yes.
Like, well, Marcus Garvey told people that were supposed to go to Liberia to plant all these rubber with American and England mash up. You still have generation, the third and fourth generation are living in Africa through repatriation, what people out here don't know.
For real. For real,
you know?
For real. Well, you know, as you said it there, right, I know that there's enough people out there that have influence with the African ministers and the African high commissioners, and even the West Indian as well, the Caribbean, you know, that will be listening, and I hope that they take it on board and act on it. And at the same time, it's up to us as well. There's no reason on this earth why we can't go to the embassies of these different governments and put a case to them.
Right. Because we're doing our work, but they're not backing us up.
For real. So it's time for us to back them up and go down to their office and back them up. You know what I mean, Bridget?
Yeah, I think the same Genesis to go outside and do these things for us.
Okay. Well, with the support of the people, then that's what, you know, we will endeavour to do with the support of the people. So thanks for calling. Thanks for calling, my Bridget. You keep it locked. Last part of the show, and I'm just going to keep the calls rolling. See?
Yeah, man, respect.
You big up.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. You're in tune to Genesis Radio. Your name, please?
Good afternoon. I'm David.
Yes, brother David. What would you like to say to London?
Well, you know, what's interesting is the conversation that I've been listening to so far, and it's this idea about people going back home to Africa.
Okay.
I know it's an important thing, and, you know, you were saying that it's important for governments to open their arms and invite people to come over.
Yes.
Well, which is a true thing. That should happen. And I think in some cases it has happened. But what I think also is that the people, you know, what's going on as well is that there's a certain psyche that people have to get over, you know what I mean? There's a certain psychology. A lot of African Americans, African Caribbeans, Africans in Europe are still quite confused about Africa and have a negative image of Africa.
Well, you see, number one, I agree with you, right? But the first point where I say we're confused, when we start calling ourselves African Americans and African Europeans, this is where confusion starts.
That's just to identify, you understand? Because I take it as all as one, you understand? The African diaspora is one people.
That's right.
One nation of people. But people feel they need to identify, you understand? People say, I'm from America, but I'm an African.
I'm a West Indian, and
You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
Just to give distinctions, you know, because the African from Africa has a certain attitude, certain character, certain behavior, certain characteristics. One in Europe has a certain characteristics, one in America or the Caribbean. So that's just to identify them. Yeah? So what I think is also very important is that as well as governments make an effort to encourage people to come to Africa, invest here, try and do a thing here, Africans, right, African Americans, African Caribbeans, African Europeans, have also got to make a concerted effort themselves.
To go out there and invest?
Listen, push your way into the country, man. Regardless of what it is. Because when I go home, right, to Africa, I see Asians, I see Lebanese, I see Korean people, I see Israelis, right? Who don't even look like me.
Yeah, but my brethren, it's a sad fact, right, that any other nation can go in Africa right now and get an easier visa stay for X amount of years over us, any other nation. Do you understand?
Yes, what I'm thinking as well is that if I'm an African that's brought up in Britain, in Europe, right, I carry a British passport.
Okay.
I would identify as a British person. You understand? So if I go to any African or any other country in the world for a visa, I go as a British citizen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm sure that you know, right, at the end of the day, the same way, if you go to Europe, you go as a British citizen, but your skin is black. So if Italy don't want you in, they don't want you in. And it's the same thing. There's parts of Africa that have that attitude that when you get to the border, number one, there's parts of Africa where you don't even want to tell them that you're coming from England because they're not letting you in, period. But there's other parts where if they'll see the British passport and they'll see your skin and they'll give you a hard time just through the colour of your skin.
I understand what you're saying, But the reason I was bringing that up, right, was this aspect of visa. You understand? And in order to get into the country, you need to get a visa.
That's right.
And it's the same way, people coming from Africa, from other parts of the world, Caribbean, what have you, try and get into Europe or Britain. If you don't have a visa in whatever passport you're carrying, you can't get into the country.
That's the truth. You
can't. So what tends to happen is that in Africa, people see, we can't just put it to the individual passport control standing there who takes your passport, looks at it and says, okay, you're black, but you've got British in your passport. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's just an individual thing. We have the onus on him to say, look, you want to let me into the country. He's going by what government says. If the government says to him, look, if a black African comes and he's got a British passport, then that will ask him for a visa.
For real? All right.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? If I need to get into Britain, right, I need to pay some big money for a visa.
Yes.
Right? Get a visa. Even if I apply for a visa, you might still refuse me.
My brethren, you see, that's if you're a black man. You understand? If you was a white man, you wouldn't be saying that. Do you know how many Australians?
I understand what you're talking about. I know what you're saying. Like the privilege, right? What you're saying really is that Europeans, essentially, their skin colour is their passport to any part of the world.
That's right.
And that's a universal thing. It's not only Africa. They go to Asia, they go to Southeast Asia.
But we don't care about the rest of the parts. It's not correct that Mama Land should make it harder for us as what you call then black British, right? That it shouldn't be making it harder for us to come in there and get a visa to stay in the country or to do business in the country, whichever country, over the European, over the white-skinned person.
I totally agree with you, my brother. I understand what you're saying, but the point I was trying to make was saying that You know, is it a concern? Is it a conscious thing that it's a black Brit and he's black and he's British, and I'm not going to allow him into the country because he's black and British, or is it that he's got a British passport and I'm not allowing him in because he's got a British passport?
Okay, I
You know
hear
what I'm
that.
saying?
I hear that.
If I came with a different passport now, you know what I mean? If I came with a Jamaican passport or somewhere else in the Caribbean, right? I'm sure they would let me through.
Well, you know what? You know what? There's parts of Africa, right? That if you flash a Jamaican passport, they tell you you're welcome, come in. And if you flash a British passport,
they won't let you in. You know what I'm saying? So then it's down to us now to seek information and find out what is the best means for me to get into the country. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So for all these people, I mean, Lebanese and all them, Asian is not a white man, you know. He's an Asian.
For real.
You understand? And he still walks into my country comfortably, makes himself at home, living large. You know what I mean? In my yard. And there are people that are still, my people living here are suffering, like you said, enslaved through work, mortgage, and all that kind of foolishness, right? The hard money they earn here, put it back into the system, which I'm doing nothing for them, you know what I mean? When people are serious, you take the hard-earned currency, find your way out of the country, you know? Find your way to a country that will, you can invest that money seriously and it'll go much further for you.
Yeah, well then you see, I understand that, but at the same time you're ignoring everything that we've gone through the last 600 years. And I personally don't think that's correct, that we should just sweep that all under the carpet and just say, okay, I'm strong enough, I'll survive and let me go through. We still need help, and this help must come from our family and from the perpetrators, from those who most benefited from what happened, the injustices that happened against us.
I understand that. I understand
But pick
what
up for
you're
your
saying,
call, see? I've got to go.
All right, beloved.
One love and keep it locked, see?
Truly.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, we're going to take the last call. We've got the senator in the house and he's just rearing to go, scene. And two, you know, you see, Genesis DJs that don't like when you eat into their time, you know. So this is the last call and we're gone. Good afternoon, you're in tune to Genesis Radio.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my sis. What's your name, please?
Yes, it's Jada from Hackney.
Okay, what would you like to say, Sister Jada?
Yes, I was just trying to make the point that you're both making very good points and you're both coming to the same conclusion.
That's right.
It's that these unfair advantages that Europeans have over us is because of past colonial advantages they've had over us.
For real. And they're still reaping the benefits of it now.
They're still reaping the benefits of it there. And it's the same people governing our countries. They're governing our countries from here. Still. I mean, you just have to take a look at the Monsterration disaster
with the volcano,
to realise that this is still going on. So, long time ago when they dissected Africa, and France owns this part, and Germany owns that part. I mean, they're still making the rules. So when you go there and you get met at the airport by officials telling you need visa, you know where that law is coming from.
So, you see now, as you say that, sister, to me now, this is more reason why they need us back home, because we don't know how these people think. All of them, think of all them black people in Germany, in France, in Italy, here in England. We know how they operate. So if they don't incorporate us in their future plans, they're not going to go anywhere.
Well, part of the solution, hear the solution now, part of it is, like we've all been saying on Genesis for a long time now, wherever we are, we need to mix and meet and dissolve these issues amongst ourselves, no matter what country we're in. Educate the next brother.
For real, get together and start talking.
Get together. And also the second part of the solution is black man should have a universal passport. Because we shouldn't be banned from anywhere.
That's right.
To tell you the truth. We shouldn't be banned from anywhere on this earth. Because everywhere on this earth black man has been.
That's right, and remain.
Yes. No matter how much they try to wipe us out, we have been there, we have done our bit. You know, no whole part of Europe hasn't seen a black man, or a black man has helped Europe. You know?
For real. Okay,
we've been there.
Okay, big up for that, and the whole of London heard you.
Well done.
You respect for that call there and keep it locked to the big Genesis, okay?
I will. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Another day, another show. Some hardcore issues talked about today. And boy, we've got to say enough respect going out to all of our callers, and thank you for airing your views and your opinions, and thank you for conducting yourselves in a manner which is befitting our community and our nation. At the same time, you will just keep it locked. Senator's coming now, and he's going to bat it up. So far, he's changed the music on the deck. How much times, looking for the appropriate music, see? So you will keep it locked to the Big Genesis 91.6 FM, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're going to keep rolling and keep going as long as we can, stronger and harder than before. At the end, again, let's just summarize. Africa, stretch forth your hand again unto us. We know that it's been done in the past. We know that Ghana's making strides. We need the African communities, governments to get together, talk with us, and, just sort something out. West Indian or Caribbean or whatever label you want to call yourself outside of that scene, we as well need to consider our approach, and our understanding of the motherland. Let's not take it for granted and say, oh, me come from yard, me's a yardie. There's nothing in yard that come direct from the motherland. See? So it's all about unity in a community. Let's get together. If you see your brother or your sister on the street, talk and say, yows, what's happening? See? That's all it takes, a little bit of time, and it can strengthen the community as a whole. You will keep it locked. This is Genesis 91.6 FM. Don't forget, August, we're going to be running 2 coach loads of elderly and children from the community up to Hastings for the day. We're going to have a great time. If you all can donate your time or donate anything towards the event, then, contact us down at Lewisham Way. See? Or leave a message. There shall be something down there that you will consign anyone that wants to donate their time on the day and come and help us. All right? Take care. Keep it locked. One love. Commissioners out of here.
Station. We are the people station. We are Genesis FM. Genesis FM, London.
Accept your own and be yourself. Thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum.
We are Genesis FM, London.
Love power station, educate the nation. Love that.
We are Genesis FM, London.
Hi, this is Horace Brown. Educate yourself. Hi, this is Horace Brown, and I'm listening to Genesis, and you should too, because you can educate yourself and your youth.
We are Genesis FM, London.
Genesis, London's only #1 station.
Genesis FM.
Stay tuned to Genesis Radio, and you'll know how to live as well. This is Luciano.
Genesis FM, London.
I'm just following up to ask, what does Genesis really stand for?
Unity in the community. Lennox Lewis said that.
We are Genesis FM.
London's only #1 station.
Genesis the Pullman Radio.
Yo, how much time we have a want so the gun for us drop out of the palm, His Imperial Majesty's work, a sizzler said that, when I put it down now.
The people station. People station. Genesis FM.
Genesis station. Dedicated to the younger generation. Shots on mighty.
We are the people station.
Oh my goodness. What would I do without Genesis?
Genesis FM.
Hi, this is Sylvia Plummer, and I tune into Genesis because they reach me.
We are the people station. We are the people station. We are the people station. We are Genesis FM. Genesis FM, London. We are the people station.